Okay, Sprokane said just let him know when we're ready, and they are ready to fire it off.
Perfect. Stream is live. All the settings are the same from last time, so just do me a favor and just give me a good Perfect. All right, levels are perfect.
Let's go.
I'm ready for this. I'm eating a Pop-Tart simultaneously.
Little morning nutrients, little sugar to kickstart the. I like it.
Kickstart the day and get me ready for it all.
I'm on my first cup of coffee, so it is the beginning for me as well.
You got the first cup of coffee. I already had an energy drink. I'm ready to go.
Are you a coffee drinker or not?
Nah, I'm not. I love tea.
Okay.
I do love tea.
It's usually one or the other for people, I feel like.
Yeah, it really is. I love tea. The only problem with tea is it just doesn't have enough caffeine.
That's fair.
And
yeah, I drink a lot of coffee,
know me.
And it's kind of loaded.
But you know me. I have lots of energy, and I need something that can keep up with that level.
Yeah. True.
And the only thing that really can are energy drinks. So it's like, all right, we're ready for this. Like back when I worked at Riot, it was like there's free Red Bull everywhere. That did not teach me a good habit
like
at
on
all.
campus there was.
Yes.
Dude, that's
everywhere.
Awesome.
Everywhere. And so when I was on, on set, I was having like 10 energy drinks a day. That was not good.
Yeah, that doesn't sound great.
No, not at all. Not at all. But I did it anyways because I hate my body. But you know, I don't hate SUPERVIVE. I love this game. We have Unstable Portal for Game 1. This is the Sprokane EU Draft event. If nobody knows what that is, well, you should learn real quick because it's where Sprokane puts on this cool event every Sunday or every other Sunday in order to get EU players playing in different teams. You draft up teams, go right from the beginning, all those that want to play, and they make up these teams and see how they are going to be able to work together instantaneously. And right now we're seeing instantaneously a couple of our teams dropping. I have names here of teams in case people aren't quite sure. So our first team to drop was Team Coin Flip. Right here, we have our TLC, the Toe Lickers, fighting up against Dan. Yep, Dan Bridges. As Dan Bridges, Sprokane, the one who put the event on, is the first knock. Droom might be able to get away, but the hunt is there. Dreadsy right there to make sure they can get rid of one. So Shroom not able to escape, while Baroof and the rest of the Toe Lickers, they do seem to be fine at the moment.
Dude, that's Sprokane playing in his own tournament. I love that, or his own kind of like hosted events. I love this format, bro. It's such a cool idea. Like basically you're getting, I'm assuming they did what we've seen before where you get like some top players to be captains and then they pick from a large pool, or even new players to be captains so they don't know who's who, and then they pick from like a large pool, and so you end up with these mixed teams where it's like a couple more experienced players with a couple less experienced players in general, right? So that's kind of the idea.
If I recall with this one, sorry to interrupt.
No, please, because I'm not familiar with the. That's just what I was assuming.
Yeah, no, you are right. And last time it was the experienced players that were the captains. This time it is the less experienced players that were the captains.
I like
they wanted to swap it up, and they wanted to give players that are newer to the scene that chance to draft teams. And so if you see names like Salma Hayek, Purple, these are the players that were drafting the teams. Well, obviously, we know a lot of the other faces. Baroof is one of those names we've seen many times. Droom, too. Same with Mithy. Ashikata is newer to a lot of SUPERVIVE stuff right now here in the Molten Fortress. As the Toe Lickers did get revived, I believe they have turned Resurgence off.
Yeah, I was about to say, it looks like Resurgence is off. He's going for that res early.
And this ain't looking too good for the Toe Lickers either. Look at this. Ashikata gets knocked on the other side. Shroom might have escaped, but Baroof is the one that is targeted by Muffin Mayhem. Making sure no escape there for Baroof, so only Shroom, who we saw earlier, narrowly be taken down, is going to be the last survivor for the Toe Lickers. They're really licking their wounds now.
Yeah, off to a bit of a rough start. A little unlucky going for that other res, running, into another team, or another team creeping up on him there. Hopefully he can get away, go for res. Big violence here between We got MST is MST 200. I don't know what.
Yeah, MST 200. I'm gonna just call it Mist. That seems like an easier one. And then SB is our Suspicious Bushes, which we now need to have tree biome, not tree, the tree storm shift, just so that they could be suspicious trees and bushes.
We got unstable portals this game, one of your favorites, I know. Like, becoming my favorite too, honestly. It's a really cool one, especially for high elo play, bro. I feel like unstable portal really adds some spice to the, especially as the circle starts to close in, you know.
It does. It's quite the wild one. Like, when it first got added in, a lot of people were uncertain how much it was going to impact the game. But now that I've seen it played a lot more in our scrims, just in other tournaments,
we didn't see that.
It is definitely. No one saw that mythy. We weren't watching. But it's definitely become one of my favorite storm shifts because how wild it can make some of these fights, and seeing people pop in and out of the skirmishes each and every time. And speaking of skirmish, we go all the way over to Bridges and LQ. LQ being loser's Q.
We got 8.
One Abyssal Breaker. Then another Abyssal Breaker thrown out. Dan starting to struggle as it is going to be the first knock on his Stroke Ring. Treadsy will be the next targeted. Singularity lands onto one, but they are looking to see if they can hunt down, and Fate Strikes gets rid of most of them. The Ari going to be the only survivor for Dan, even recalling so they can get a better position on a respawn.
Yeah, really nice fight there by Loser's Q, kind of finding the flank while they are on that boss and getting a nice... It's really annoying if you're not... It's hard to tell from spectator, but these waterfalls block vision, right? So if you're on this side, you can't see to this side. Same thing over here. And then you have water on top of it. This is really a couple of abyss gaps. It's an interesting place to fight. It's really easy to get caught here, you know, as a team if you're positioning on that boss. And Loser's doing a good job now in it with TMO, who is Team Miso.
Team Miso might be pushed back, though. That unstable anomaly was creating a lot of distance. That's going to be the Talk kidnapping one. There goes daggers. So one is gone, but they tried to re-engage with the shield broken. Aiden now fall into Orlando's Team Miso win, but the third party's here. SB show up out of nowhere to take down and get a lot of damage on Team Miso, who are now kiting away, realizing that even though they had won the fight earlier against Loser's Q, against SB, showing up at the perfect time, all those cooldowns and a nice spike, will be able to pick up some gold armors for SB.
Yeah, I was going to say Bush is looking for these golds here. I'm a little surprised they didn't continue with the chase. I think they maybe saw Loser's Q, got up over on the left here and was going to be a threat, so they don't want to over push that. But they do get one of the golds, but SB does keep, our green team, TMO, does keep 2 of them, and they are going to get this heart res off, so they're going to be just fine. If we look at items, these guys are looking kind of stacked. Golds, Blinkstone, like GA. You know, they just lost gear on 2 of them, but the 2 members that are still alive, off to a pretty good start here. Circle closing in. We saw kind of a split farm at the beginning, not too much violence, but now as the circle closing in, more and more picks happening across the map. Looks like TLC, who is, oh yeah, Toe Lickers, is kind of kiting north here.
Toe Lickers.
PS push.
They started off in really rough spots in this game. And you see, at Loser's Q, even though they had lost that fight on the kill feed, we're getting a really good play up against the Muffin Mayhem squad, who are now, I think, down to only 1 member. But we go all the way back to Mana Coils, and we see that SB, Suspicious Bushes, continues their fight. They found Miss 200. Not gonna find the knock onto Echo, though. Was able to heal up. Still cutting back, and they got the pull with the slug wave, doing a lot of damage, but up into the air with the Eye of the Storm as they try to go for the reset, taking down one Darken. Was able to throw it right back at Dracos. The rest of Mist scatter. No longer wanting to be a part of that one. Those unstable portals. Kronos comes out of one of them, was trying to get into the back line, but gets spiked down by Darken. Miss 200, now completely out of there.
Dude, Suspicious Bushes looking kind of scary. That's a couple fights now. We've seen them play really well. And OC stole that gold from TMO earlier, and they're looking, we take a look at items, pretty good. Dan, holy, what's happening?
Uh-oh, what's happening over here? Fighting up against...
They got their shrapnel.
Boof is Bofem. That's the name of the team. Nice body block there. Putting up the bright shield. Not going to get pulled in. So we did see a potential fight for Dan. Ari still holding on to that gold, though. Gotta be careful, especially with how both of them are looking for this one, because they're looking for the plays. Mortar sent out, not actually getting anything. This could be Adamark. Try to engage and get in onto land. Mage Box difficult, nice Vortex Charm to take down Dead, and then the rest of Bofa running for it. No longer wanting to. We see on the kill feed our first team eliminated. TCF is gone, and now Bofa still on the run. Ori is close by. Cookies, who's trying to be sneaky, was hoping for the slam down, but they've spotted him out. Mantling on one side, but there goes Cookies, and Bofa only down to one member, Adamark, hoping to hold on for dear life.
Adamark, my goat here. Last one alive for Bofa. He's going to recall. Going back. Might be in a spot. Yeah, look how isolated he is. Is going to get that res. Coming back over to TMO in the violence with MST here. Miss 200. We saw these guys have a couple good fights. Ooh, nice little bump up over there for Echo. Keeps his vacuum. And these guys continuing to look scary. They got one of their golds back, so 3 golds, still 2 exotics. Level 11, one of the probably teams to be looking out for in this match specifically. These guys looking pretty good too as well. This is type shit. Type shit. No T, no T, guys. It's not a swear.
Type shit.
Type shit.
You gotta say it with the eyes. There's a lot of eyes in there too. So now Top Shit and Type Shit are looking to see if they can fight against Bofa. As Bofa, they might have recovered, as we talked about before, that recall from Adamark has gotten them in a better position. But Type Shit also have been struggling. You look at a lot of the broken armors. That's going to be the chilling finale to split up the fight. Nice slams down from Palm Kick and up into the air with the Eye of the Storm, but no reset. Couldn't find it. Marshak has to leave that alone while Blood. They might be able to help out the team. They've got to be careful with how much damage Marshak is doing to them. He might have been able to outplay him. This Jewel taking him down to the back line. And now it's down to just Tom Kick with a tree prison. But the pull back in, looking to resurrect Blood the best he can. But he's off the whisk. Nicely done with the mortar.
Wow, what a fight. And so they kind of like gentleman's handshake there. Tom Kick backs out. They are going to live. He hopefully is going to be able to find a res here. More action to the southwest here. Dan versus MM. We haven't seen MM fight yet, I don't think. This is Muffin Mayhem. A couple of people we definitely recognize, though. Arcane, Sinoid.
And now see if they're going to be able to take on Dan. But more just kind of taking these pot shots at each other. No full engages. No one really ready for that. They're trying to get the pick. Nice Vortex Charm. Could set it up with Arcane taking very low, but the second wind wasn't enough damage. And now with Salvo Burn, look at the Ori trying to find the flank, but Trenzy taking the damage as he's able to get away, and they take down the Oath with the hail of arrows. Sinoid gone. The rest of MM fail. No longer wanting to defend the defender. They just need to make sure they get out alive.
Yeah, it was looking like it was kind of an even fight, but I think these guys are kind of winning off the back of their Shrapnel Soul and a slight level advantage, but pretty well fought. They're going to run right into SB, though, so Suspicious Bushes might get the best of this if they get a squad wipe, kind of having MM push right into them as a team of 3 in a really rough spot here.
Two-way teleporter, can they get onto it? Pushed off by SB and Muffin Mayhem. Our next team eliminated at 9th place.
Yeah, SB loves that, dude. Just kind of fed up a 3-man squad on a tiny island for free. They're like, oh yeah, this is us. We're here for this.
I think they get that two-way teleporter themselves now that they can steal off of the death boxes. They're going to get a lot of loot for that one, and they did very little for it. So definitely a good feeling for us.
Cross map, bro. He just hit here to here.
Gotta love it. Love those unstable portals, and went right into the middle of Bofa, but still didn't fall. He's just going for a lot of these coin flips, hoping to find anything. Like, hey, where are the reses? Are there any places I can go to? Bofa, they took the unstable portal themselves, and now they're up against Dan on the southern portion of the circle.
I really like watching EU. Like, we don't get a chance to do it much, but every time we do, they're constantly fighting, bro. It seems like they love their action. Man, this is my kind of Super 5. I love this, like, carnage. We got 12 hours straight of it yesterday, bro, in the arena format.
Ooh. Speaking of fighting, we have a couple teams here. One of them took the unstable portal. They didn't actually want to stick around anymore because SB did lose out on their Kingpin. But Dan having taken the position, LQ starting to push up against Team Miso, who already are holding the heart and Crown being right behind them. They're waiting for any team to play into them. Singularity will lock down one, and that should burst down Salma Hayek. But that's the Talk finding a play on the other side to make sure that they're starting to win it out. But you gotta keep in mind, there is always the third party scenario for Team Miso. Now on the ropes as they try to get away. Splitting up Orlando's and BlackRock. They can't stick together. One is by the heart, but can you get the res when so many teams are surrounding your position? Orlando's makes the smart call to get out of there. What we see on the kill feed, the Toe Lickers have been eliminated at 8th place, and Mist are starting to push up into the heart.
Yeah, taken out somewhere up here by Mist as our 8th squad out here. Mist looking to put it to LQ as well. 2 down, and they're going to get flanked by the Crown.
LC missing on that one, might be able to help out. Doesn't reduce any of the timer because they didn't get the at least assist for the team. So Nova now pushed into the storm. OC was trying to heal up, and everyone focused onto the Bishop, who barely escaped danger. But here, Talk Blinkstone pulled back in, denied the bomb, and taken down. Had to go into the unstable portal to survive. Even if they were able to pick up Vlad should be resurrected by the team. But Nova had now pushed back into the storm, into the circle. SB are back because they utilized the heart. They didn't even get the crown. Instead, it was all about playing for the reses, while TS have been eliminated.
Dude, there was just so much violence there. While all that was happening, another squad gets wiped over here. I think there was fighting down here as well, but OC really well played to get out of there. Inno was literally just standing on this bridge healing. Everyone's fighting. He's just like, no one sees me, no one sees me. And they're able to get it back and get everyone up. So down to 5 squads very quickly. TMO looking for engage here.
Another Blinkstone kidnap, that damage! Oh my god, Orlando's! This is the danger of that Blinkstone Bebo play.
Was that a Blinkstone Tonk Tonk?
Yes, it was.
That was cool. I like that. They didn't
also,
like that.
I just realized that two-way teleporter had moved the heart down here instead. So there we go, Orlando's again! Baseball bat to eliminate Suspicious Bushes by hitting them into the moved heart.
The Bebo going turbo here. Dude, look at these items, bro. Red evolved, Blinkstone, double ping. Oh my. That is a scary Bebo.
With the exotic armor as well. Like, right now, it feels like it's not even just looking at Team Miso. It is looking at Orlando's. Another Talk Blinkstone finds another victim. This time, it was Dracos of Team Mist. And this is one of those things. I know I've talked to a lot of players, and they kind of hate this strategy. If Bebo is able to get a Blinkstone, it is one of the most annoying things to deal with. As Chronos, one of the more annoying things to deal with is the fact that you were surrounded. Mist are now out at 4. 3 teams remain.
3 teams, if we take a look at how everyone's looking here.
Storm closing.
Dan Bridges' squad looking pretty strong, like pretty evolved weapons. They got the boombox on their side. If we look at TMO, maybe our strongest team, 3 exotics.
No, not the strongest team, strongest player. Orlando's.
sorry.
Let's just get that right now. All pings, everything. Only one thing isn't, and that is one of the powers.
Yep. That's scary.
I've never in my life of watching SUPERVIVE said that this was down to one player and only one player more than this game is. This game is all about Orlando's on Bebo.
Let's see it, dude. I'm excited. We see the long range bat hit. He was
going
fishing
for the
fire. I saw.
Yeah.
He's now kind of guarding it.
I also like it. He's practicing his baseball. He's looking for home runs. He wants to be Babe Ruth on this one and just find as many. And there it is.
Sorry.
Then we just see that's the Blinkstone tech. Bofa are realizing just how powerful that Orlando's is. They've stolen away the base camp while Bofa trying to get it out of there. But Dan has now pushed up. Then, all right, we'll take out one squad. We want at least second, because I don't know if we're going to be able to take down Orlando's, but they will try. Going for some recalls, but the base would be stolen away again by Team Miso.
I was gonna say I'll just put the spectator on Orlando and I just won't touch it for the rest of the time.
Watch it.
Here it
Here
goes.
it is, the Tonk. There it is, the kidnap. Dragging him far away so they can try to baseball bat whack down the Ari. And then look, even with the spin dash from Spokane, they've already taken out 2 members of Dan who try to get back. They're looking for the res.
Nice.
But the B-bomb on top of Zeph. You're pushed over the abyss. And we already said it. This was Team Miso's. This was Orlando's game to win.
TMO and Orlando showing up huge on the Bevo. Really nice game. Couple sick Tonks. Sorry, I missed that like second to last one. It's like everyone's just kind of chilling, and then all of a sudden he's in with a Tonk and 2 are dead. But that is I will say that is a hard ability to dodge if you're not ready for it. Like it kind of just like literal car off screen just flies in and whacks you, and especially like with the Blinkstone situation. Makes it. What is happening? Oh, you see that? It's a drop.
Yeah, it's just a drop coming randomly at the end. But yeah, it's one of those scenarios that people always say that Tonk's okay. It's pretty telegraphed, pretty easy to dodge when you see it. Like when you know it's coming, you can get out of the way. That's where Blinkstone comes in and makes that so
if you
a full screen away, where you have no vision at all. Suddenly, Bevo is on top of you. You've been kidnapped. The bomb's there too. You see it in the caravan with you, and you're like, ah, crap. This isn't gonna go well, is it?
That's like it kind of to what we were talking about yesterday, the difference between Bebo in BR and Bebo in Arena. Like with the fog of war, the kind of all the tools, extra tools at your disposal in the BR, I feel like his kit just has like more kind of room to shine, we kind of saw it there, where it's harder to, hit that Tonk if, you're in a clean 4v4 in an arena and they know you're coming and you don't have a Blinkstone. But, if you have all the tools of BR under you and you're kind of rolling like that, it can make Bebo look disgusting. And we haven't seen too many people get like super cracked at Bebo, but there's a couple now, there's Lemur, there's Krillo, there's Orlando now, who I'm unfamiliar with, but learning very quickly about today.
Taldo's another one of those really good Bebo players.
I think
there's a few. I'm trying to think. Who
was
else
it Sinoid or Ezib was also playing it?
Ezib.
Yeah, Ezib was
the
it
other
quite
one.
a bit.
Yeah. So you have quite a number of these players that are really, really good with Bebo, and it's a lot of fun to watch the really good Bebo players play. Because some people will say that Bebo isn't a weak spot. There were some nice buffs that Bebo did get, but some people argue that it's not quite enough. But I think in the hands of someone who's well practiced, Bebo is just a very different style. Because if you think about it, Bebo's the only real melee. Even Brawl, even though Brawl is melee, you have, I think, a little bit of an easier way of still doing damage from range compared to that of Bebo, where it really is into your right mouse button and into your Q, if you want to be able to land, like to get that range.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're there with a baseball bat. You're there whacking away, trying to see what you can do to disrupt a lot of the fights.
Yeah, and I would agree. I would put him kind of in the same category with Brawl and Jin, where they're kind of these, they're these melee characters that have kind of melee as their auto, but then they have tools to close the gap and or do some range stuff on top of it. But to your point, it's like these hunters are really hard to balance, and we've seen the struggle with Brawl and Jin. Brawl kind of at the forefront of it since I've literally seen Brawl get introduced as a character. They've struggled balancing him because of just the nature of melee trying to clash with ranged and have that feel like a balanced and like fun combat situation for both parties. And it can just, if you're playing a ranged character, if someone is piloting one of these melee hunters very well, it can feel very overwhelming in their kind of like ability to stay on top of you and just like delete you and stuff. And I think Bebo is going to be kind of following in suit with those two, to your point, where it's like he's going to be hard to balance, bro. And it's one of those things where at the very high end, the people that are really good with him are going to be able to, if they buff him too much, that's going to be too strong, just like it's been for Brawl and for Jin at times. And so, it's a really fine line you got to walk where, maybe the hunter feels a bit underpowered to someone who's not super good or newer or just playing for fun. But as soon as you take it to the kind of upper threshold of elo, it starts to really like get out of hand a bit if it's too kind of loaded, you know.
Yeah, like I think I might have misspoke because each one of these hunters, even with melee, they have range in some part of their kit to make up for it. But I think the biggest difference between Brawl and Jhin compared to that of Bebo is mobility.
That's
Jhin
true.
and Brawl have an easier time staying on their targets. Even as melee, they can follow up very well. Bebo doesn't have as easy of a mobility.
Definitely.
His dash is a lot shorter. Yes, the movement speed he gets from there is nice. His Tonk gets him a great way to engage, but if you're categorizing an ultimate as a mobility kind of ability,
Yeah.
that's not really speaking well to how well you can stay on your targets compared to stuff like Brawl and Jhin.
Totally. And I think like more than like Brawl, you kind of think of him kind of staying on top of you. Bebo has more like the one-shot combo potential, right? Where it's like rather than him staying on top of you, he wants to, bomb into Bungee into Bat, or he wants to Tonk into Bat, or whatever, right? He has like a couple really big combos where he has like fat burst that he can capitalize on. Whereas like, and obviously Jhin probably has that a little more than Brawl. Brawl's a little more of like sustained. He does have big burst, but he's a little more like sustained DPS,
Select your hunter.
where if he's on top of you, just the shing and you just can't get away. It's just like so toxic to be on the other end of sometimes.
It can be. I feel like Brawl, I'm excited to see the future that Theorycraft do take with them on how they're going to try to balance that, because Brawl, even when I first saw their kit, I'm like, this reminds me of like the meme from League of Legends, the mobility creep meme.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this guy has 1,000 dashes. This guy, it might be melee.
Wasn't there like a
but
Cassante meme that was like that too?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Super tanky, can survive from everything, yet can do all this damage. The only difference was I feel like Brawl wasn't quite as tanky. Yes, he had an ability that makes it so he couldn't die for a second, but I feel like that was like the only thing with them, is that it was a little bit easier to actually kill Brawl compared to how Cassante was, but still was very difficult. And now with some of the changes they put to Brawl, plus having some of the changes with how dashes are and you can reset them from knocks, I feel like has put Brawl in a slightly healthier spot.
Definitely, and he's definitely in a better. I think he's in a better spot than he has been in a while. But it's gonna probably always be a challenge. It's just the nature of. But hopefully, like kind of the more hunters that get added like that, they kind of figure out a overall way. And I'm really glad they pulled the like glider lock changes, because I really didn't like if you played Brawl and you played him like the last 2 weeks before this patch hit last Wednesday, and you literally were locked out of your glide when you dashed. It actually felt so bad, bro. It was like so.
It was
clunky.
Very clunky, very clunky.
So I'm like super glad they reversed that on Brawl, Jhin, and Oath. But then they added in like some overall mobility thing, right? Yeah, Chaos here in the steps.
Wow, okay. I know you were going to talk, but man, seeing 3 teams pretty much drop on top of each other. Losers queue, both of them already fighting it out, and both of them not looking so good, because both of these fights are not going their way. They have been chased down on one aspect, and another one, Team Miso, is already looking for them. Both, you try to get out over the lava, but they are hunting you down. They are looking to see if they can get these knocked. And guess what? Another team joins poor Bofa. There were 4 teams surrounding him.
Bofa is so unfortunate, bro. Going for a little bit of the greed play there, thinking they can get something out of that, even though they lost that first, kind of drop. They could get the Blinkstone, they could get out. They almost are able to do it. Adamark does get it, but not quite able to get out. I think if Miss 200 wasn't over on the right here, they would have been able to maybe at least get one player out, but ends up backfiring a little bit for them. So very quickly out at 10th. But that is the nature of SUPERVIVE, bro. If you drop hot, you drop on objectives, and you fight it out, sometimes 10th is where you end up. And
but would you expect that to have been a hot drop? There's no gold. There's nothing really to play there.
Yeah, I kind of just said, yeah, that's fair. I kind of just said hot drop, but yeah, I'm honestly not sure why 3 dropped on that exact one spot. It's a fair call out.
Right, and then technically missed were a fourth one because they dropped that Prisma.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like
It's a
they were
little
that far
unlucky,
away
I guess.
either.
Yeah.
It was kind of a wild.
Oh, maybe it was
wild.
because they could see the Blinkstone, so they were all kind of getting the early drop.
Oh, that
position
could
around
be.
Blinkstone.
Okay, it was definitely over the Blinkstone then. So if the Blinkstone's there, that's 100% why they dropped it. So I'm looking at like the gold and seeing what you can fight over there. There's not much. Yeah, they're planning for that. Mist were the ones who got it since they were the team. I think that dropped a little
Literally,
closer.
they got so good out of that situation because they didn't even drop there for it. They just like roll up and then just like scoop the kill, squad wipe, Blinkstone, GG.
Exactly, and sometimes what teams will do, especially with like drops like that, they'll drop close so they can get a couple of the camps, then look to see if they can take out that objective, and that's probably what Mist's plan was at the first place. But then, like you said, they just kind of got lucky and were like, wait a minute, okay, we got a free squad wipe. We'll now take that. That's our exotic.
All right, TCF hearing the vault, making their way over here. This is Team Coin Flip. We didn't see much from them last game. Coming over the top of this wall onto Mist. See if Dracos can use that Blinkstone here.
Did get eliminated for nice pull though. Nios finding a pick onto Mist. So Echo's being pulled back in as well. Let's see, Mist are trying to resurrect, try to help out, but a nice slam down. Coin flipping this one. They're taking the full force fight and they're winning it out as Team Mist now scatter, try to get away. And guess what? That Blinkstone that they had gotten previously now gonna go over to Coin Flip.
I wonder how many times this Blinkstone is going to change hands this game. Let's keep track.
So that's one. What, one?
Yeah, one, but it was like, yeah, it was hotly contested by 3, but yeah, only changed hands once so far.
That's what I'm saying. Do we count it as 1 or do we count it as 2? Because technically...
Let's count it as 2, just because we can do whatever we want. We're in charge here.
Yeah, true. True. This is our cast. We can decide how it is. But we go down south and we see Losers Q and Muffin Mayhem. Denoid trying to hop on the train, but Losers Q weren't letting him have that as he does get pulled back in by the rest of his team. Could be resurrected. Losers Q trying to push back in as they will spin dash away the swap from Fate. Looking for the backline, but only level 6 doesn't have that singularity. But now that Coin Flip join in, Muffin Mayhem are in for their own mayhem. Third partied, split up, no longer wanting to be a part of that, but Coin Flip, they still want some of the sauce up against Losers Q. They try to go for the Blinkstone, the pull in over the abyss, but it's gonna be the dunk the other way around. Purple got him. Coin Flip, unfortunately, fall to the might of Losers Q. Fall from grace, runs away, but this bunny ain't hopping out too easily. Has to go for that dash. Heals up a little bit over the wall. Nice juke, but Purple's there. Another dash away from fall from grace, but Purple does not relent, and they have all surrounded your position, buddy.
In TNT, they do have one left. Oatson is live, getting the death box here as these guys are kind of busy. I think LQ is probably going to push down on this, look for this team frog jump as well. So MST either has to hurry or be pretty careful here. And just up to the right here, bro, fight between TLC and Suspicious Bushes. Toe Lickers.
The Toe Lickers, Ashkata, unfortunately getting tagged there by the grenade. Had the possibility to get on the train, but instead gets spiked. And I do want to say it is a third hand change of our Blinkstone in this game.
There we go. Where's it at? Where's it at?
Losers Q, I believe, have it.
Here we go. Fate Strikes. Piloting the Blinkstone now.
Enemies have
Ooh, Void. I love Blinkstone Void, bro. It's like one of my favorites to watch, I think. Ooh, and the skin too. Looking good. Fate Strikes.
The one I always remember is Nidhogg kind of pioneering the kidnap strat with Void and Blinkstone. What, like, I'm talking early days.
Yeah,
like,
I
right when we got out of
open,
like into open beta, playing that all the time, and showing off how good a Void can be.
It's actually that combo that he was kind of showcasing in that first video that he was doing over and over, like in Arena. It's actually such a dirty combo, dude. Like, it's so hard to kind of like get out of it or anticipate it as the enemy here. We got a bunch of teams kind of converging on this Kobayashi's like south gap right between Ion and Bane Grove. About to be total madness here, I think.
Suspicious Bushes pushing back the Losers Q into town, and
5 seconds on day though, bro.
Only a small amount of time, and they've triggered the guards, but thankfully for them, It is nightfall. They don't have to worry about the guards anymore. They just have to worry about the enemies who've entered into town. They didn't get the singularity to land from base strikes because they didn't need it. They have the damage. Baruch runs away. The Toe Licker struggle to vacate from Kobayashi.
Yeah, well played there by LQ, like anticipating that timing. Coming over to TMO. In it with TCF over here. Oatson will make maybe the... Okay, they do have one out, so Oatson's kind of buying time here for Hachi to maybe peel, get a res. Is going to be able to maybe get away with that glider gas. Extremely strong tower and really hard to keep up with if you don't have kind of the extra mobility of one of these crazy mobility hunters. Hachi actually getting chased as well up here. Does have the crown. Looking close here.
Is winning. Gotta be careful with the shield broken. Might work, but a pistol breaker does. Oh, it got stolen away. DMO deny Hachi. Say no crown play for you.
Okay, Otison does get away. Is going for another box res. Dan Bridge is going to spot him out. Oh no!
And with the singularity, goodbye.
Rip.
Goodbye, coin flip. You tried to flip the coin, and this time it was tails.
Nice. That's great. TLC down to one as well. Our boy Mithy on the Bishop. Love seeing Mithy in the action. I hadn't seen him around in a little bit. The last time I had watched him, he was getting pretty scary on the Bishop. And we'll have to see what he can do as the last player. Darka does spot him out.
See if the Toe Lickers can survive. Mithy doing a good job with that Bishop. But it's going to be a pistol breaker, locking him in place, and another team to fall. The Toe Lickers struggling. Team
dropping like flies out here, bro.
Hey, Team Mist struggled a little bit, but they actually had won the main battle up against Team Miso, who are reigning victors from game 1.
Yep, and they were looking good. Like if we look, they had, like it looks like they had 2 frog jumps when they went down, and so they kind of lost like a lot of their potential power, but hopefully Akalinks will be able to. Oh, he's kind of getting hunted here though. Look, Mist is on his tail. Echo's kind of like on the scent here.
But it is glider fuel for the storm shift, so giving Akalinks a lot to work with.
And he actually has that shift upgrade as well. And Penguin, look at all this ice.
Wow. And an emergency platform. So
he's ready for this.
Yeah, you're good. All right, you're good. I was about to say, like, you know, you could stay over the abyss, you'll be fine, that kind of thing. You could just glide forever. And then I see the Penguin, and then I see the emergency platform. I see a battle here. STS. They've only traded 1. They had 3 going into that one, so Muffin Mayhem. The hold strong should be able to resurrect a teammate, I think, unless the death box is really far from them. Maybe not. Too worried about the play that Suspicious Bushes could have put to them.
Yeah. And SB do get the crown, so they're looking to just wait out time. Kind of looks like they're posting up at this island, looking to hold space. Now, Type Shit in a bit of a rough spot with 2 of their members down. They're kind of going to get pushed on both sides here. It's like Flawed might be able to kind of sneak out to the right. Actually, really good distract here by Joshua to kind of bring all of Dan over. Oh, Flawed, wait.
Oh, Flawed wasn't able to get it.
It's like, how is he just right in the middle of these 2? They just don't want to mess with him. Like, this is such a juicy... Just like seeing the damage soul, I feel like when you see the beacon on someone, like they're the last player and they have a soul, like especially like a damage soul, it's so hard to not just like chase that MF to the end of the earth, you know?
I think that's the big thing. No one spotted him. We did see on the kill feed, by the way, that TMO did get eliminated, so weren't able to make that play out over the abyss.
Oh, I missed
it. I'm not sure exactly how they got taken down, but they did fall, and now we're down to 6 teams. Couple reses here from TS. Type she are still in the game. They're still in it, but only with 2. It is going to be difficult. 6 teams, 21 players remain.
All right, so it looks like Dan Bridges is going to kind of take the island that SB was holding, throws down their campfire, kind of asserting positional dominance here. We still got MM holding the flank over to the right here, though. So this is who Dan Bridges is going to have to look out for, because they are probably going to be making their way in. Sprokane does get the crown, so they gotta probably just going to try to play time. And we do have Type Shit still alive, making their way around, probably looking for that crown there. Yeah. But SB on their way up, bro. Anticipating the move, maybe.
Oh yeah, for sure. You see a crown, and when you're fully squatted up, you're anticipating anybody is going to be pushing for that one. Flawed grabbing that. Hopefully gonna get Type She back into the game as QU has to go over the best, dodging from a lot that had been thrown at them. So, suspicious bushes, not quite so suspicious. They were spotted out pretty easily by Type She, and they're going to be over the abyss for a long time.
I kind of love like the fact that when you have a lot of abyss and glider engines, you can actually do that play, and you're like, okay, guys, you can like push us 2v4, but we're gonna be way out here. You gotta glide out after us. It's gonna be a glider battle because it just gets way more sketchy. You know, if you have to go fight out here in a 2v4, the odds of them winning that are a lot higher if they can get a cheeky spike in. You know.
Wait, can you go to Type She really quick? And I want to look at the Kingpin because Flawed looks like he's just standing still. It looked like it. He was just able to kind of hold one spot for so long.
Maybe he's doing some circles out there.
Yeah, I thought maybe there's like an emergency platform that I didn't see that they had gotten for themselves, and we're like, okay, gonna be a lot easier now.
Dude, I feel like when we look at our EU rocket jumpers or bishops, they all love doing, like, they've all learned from, who was the first one we saw just going?
Prismaticism.
Yes, thank you. Just absolutely flying everywhere.
I will never forget Prismaticism.
And like they all kind of took a page from that book, dude. And I feel like most of the EU bishops are really good at the kind of levitating. Oh, Flawed down here.
Oh, we see it. Flawed surprisingly going into town, but I guess he's like, hey, you know what? I got daytime to work with. If they want to try to fight me, I have the team. I can get res. Dan Bridges right here. Treadsy spotting him out. They've actually gone for the aggro. They think they can outburst him, and they do. The town guards are nothing in this one as TS get eliminated. A bit of overconfidence in relying on the police to defend you and help you out. Now they are gone, and we are down to 5. He missed up against Loser's Q, the pull, looking for the slam with a slug wave, doing a lot. And there goes Stragers as the rest of LQ try to get over the wall, but the Blink Stone in the pockets of 8 strikes will leave this Oath alone. All to do your own bidding here for the Loser's Cube. They've been completely split up, but an unstable matter has been put down by Fate Strikes, saying we dare you to encroach on our position.
Yeah, and Purple kind of way split off to the top right there from his homies. Fate Strike's still holding on to that Blinkstone. So 5 squads left, and we got, who's got damage still here? Because it was on, oh, it was these guys that,
yeah, double Dan.
These guys
double
are stacked now, dude. Armor and damage. Looking pretty good on the item evolutions. Pretty good powers overall. Looks like 2 golds and a blue. Yeah, Dan Bridges looking pretty scary here, itemization-wise. Taking a look at our other squads. These guys not looking too bad. They do got the boom box on their side. Double avalanche, always scary.
Double hover wings for Echo too. I'm seeing a lot of good things across the board for a lot of our players with the powers that they have. Purple being by themselves, kind of getting some attention. I think maybe trying to bait teams in to say, hey, yeah, I'm by myself. Look at me. Look at this Krista. Try to focus on me, and there it goes. We'll get some of the attention, but Fate Strikes falling. That is going to be another changing of hands for Blinkstone.
The Blinkstone just getting around here in game 2. Giving everyone some love.
I think the worst thing, though, for all the teams involved here, outside of Dan Bridges, is that Dan Bridges got the Blinkstone. So now, with both souls, with the exotic, Dan Bridges, that team,
and they have a void.
Very beefy.
They have Dan Bridges himself on the void. I love if this guy was captain, he just named the team after himself. I love that.
Me too. I'm pretty sure that's actually exactly how it was. It is Dan Bridges naming the team after him. So it's Dan Bridges, Dan Bridges.
Yeah, that's epic.
Or Dan Bridges and Aiden.
Dan Bridges.
Will have no way to get out of that one. So 4 teams now remain, but we all have to keep our eyes on Dan Bridges, or Dan Bridges, because this team, double soul, Blinkstone as well.
Dan Treadsy double nuke, bro.
Yeah, I was looking at that too. I'm like, double nukes too. This team has gotten gifted pretty much everything for this game.
Yeah, we see this final, or not final circle shift, but the next circle shift. Teams kind of looking to find their position in this next little go.
He missed trying to play up against suspicious bushes, and that's going to be the blast off taking off one. They have the advantage, and a nice grenade splits up the team. Darkin could be the target, but now that Muffin Mayhem have joined from the other side, they will third-party SB, who have been caught in a bad spot over the abyss, and slammed down by Dracos. But Dan Bridges now fourth-partying the scenario. With Darkin gone, it's now up to Mist to try to escape from the eye of Dan, but they're going right to Muffin Madness, and they get split apart. Only one escape from the danger zone, and that was Echo. Dan Bridges still have to worry. They know that Muffin Madness are there. The nuke's sent out, but they've already collapsed on the position with the avalanches thrown everywhere, blocked by Sprocane. Nobody's going to be tagged. Instead, Dan Bridges was looking for the singularity, but nobody's been caught up. The pull back, trying to get a slam down. Dredzy's gone. They've taken out Dan. Dan Bridges, you had everything, but now Muffin Mayhem have battled back. And same with Mist, who come out of nowhere looking for the slams. Dredzy's low, and they've got rid of Zeph. Ari's going to be the next target, but Blast Up went wide. Not able to lock down the Ari, but now that they've got him over the punch him into the wall, and Muffin Mayhem, as they had been able to regroup, they are now ready for the battle. They go back and look for Mist, but keep in mind, Dan Bridges have not been eliminated. Ari was able to escape, while Mist pushed Muffin Mayhem out into the storm, and it's going to be a frigid winter for Muffin Mayhem with Arcane finally falling and everything down. Mist 200 against the Ari. A minute 40 that remains on the crown. Tries to get away from the blast off at Echo. Hunting this down, even with the avalanche. You're the ones that are getting rained upon as Mist take the win.
GG, MST 200, Echo 765, absolutely feeling himself there, bro. Goes last player left, gets out of that absolute 4-team carnage, gets crowned, gets his whole team back on the on the flank of that fight. They crash in for the fifth third party on the 4-man carnage or 4-team carnage. End up pulling it out at the end there. Dude, that was just epic to watch. I love Bishop, good Bishop play, and I love good Bishop play with double wings, and when it really comes through, and she's so good at being the last player left like that. If someone's skilled at piloting her like that, when she is the last person left, she's so good at kind of getting out, keeping space, and she's able to get crowned like that. Come in, he found a flank on the south, I think just nailed someone into the wall, got that crown to proc, and then they're just right back in it, and they it was perfect timing, where as soon as that happens, there was only 2 squads left in the Mayhem, and they had just kind of finished duking it out, and so MST just pushes up, finishes one of them off, and then there's just 1 player left with the crown of their own, and yeah, just really well played. Really nice comeback there from, they were not looking like the favorites in that one, let me say that.
No, not at all. I thought it was going to be Dan Bridges taking the game. They got second place in game 1, and sadly in game 2 they also get second place. That one seemed more like it was their game to win, but props over to how that was played by Mist and how they're able to kind of reset in some of the fights, where, like you talked about, there was so many second, third, fourth party scenarios that it seemed like Mist should have died many times in that fight, yet somehow were able to survive by Echo and by Bishop.
Yeah, that was pretty spicy. Do you know, are they planning to take a midway break after next game for a couple minutes, or are we just kind of can continue to ship it? I just need a quick bio. I'm trying to decide if I should wait or go real quick now.
Why don't we do one more game, because I got a bio too.
Okay, cool.
And then we'll see if we can ask them for a break. I just saw the readies in chat. That's the only reason I'm
sounds good, dude.
Maybe they're ready to go now.
Just a couple minutes. That's all I need. But yeah, that sounds good.
Me too. My voice is still a little tired from last night.
Yeah, it's funny, as towards the very end of the night, I could kind of hear the strain coming in. Your vocal cords getting a little flexed, too flexed at the end there.
What, 12 hours of for almost not quite nonstop, but
Pretty much
lots
though,
of
like
play
pretty
time.
close to nonstop. Because if you weren't yelling, you were like talking with us or communicating internally to make the whole thing happen. So it was like a lot of voicing for sure.
It was exhausting, and I'm noticing it today too. It's like still have some of that strain.
Yeah, I would imagine it's been a minute since I've kind of hit that level, but I can imagine once you have a day like that, it probably takes a couple days to kind of like recover, just like any muscle,
Yeah.
right? Just to kind of like, restructure itself a little bit.
Very true. I mean, I don't think it helps that I think I am sick, like actually sick.
Oh, yeah. You're sick.
Like,
I could not even tell, dude. You're really just blasting through it.
That's how I always have been when it comes to casting. Unless my voice is literally gone, I will always cast. I don't care how sick I am. I don't care how I'm feeling. I will muster through it and put out the best show I possibly can.
That's why you're gonna be the best someday, bro.
Woo!
I believe.
Let's hope. Like a funny story was when I was working with Riot. I'll tell it really quick before the game started. I hadn't drinking any water for like a day, like more than a day, and I didn't realize it because I was just in go mode from work. But I was like delirious. I couldn't focus very well. My producer at the time, Kelsey Moser, was kind of like, "Alex, are you okay? You do not seem normal." I'm like, I'm fine. Yeah, keep going. I gotta cast. I cast the whole day. Nobody can tell anything except for like those that knew me very well.
Right.
So after the broadcast, Kelsey's like, "You need to go to the doctor. Like, there's something wrong. Like, you don't sound normal. No one else can tell, but if they know how your casting is, you don't sound right." So sure enough, I go to the doctor, and I'm severely dehydrated. And so they have to give me an IV and everything.
Holy.
But like, I legitimately cast that whole day without, but like, being severely dehydrated because I refuse to stop.
That's wild. A true mad lad, the leader of the mad lads.
Well, that's why I've always made sure to always have a bottle of water with me now every time I cast.
I need water, dude. I drink a lot of water, and if I don't have some around me, I like start to panic a little bit.
That's kind of how I've become too, because I don't want to have that ever happen again.
Yeah.
So I always make sure there's at least one bottle like next to me, or like some way for me to get water.
Taking a look at our game 3 drop here. I don't know if I'm missing it, but I can't see golds on the map anymore.
No, golds are on the train. It looks like
all
four on
right.
the train. That whenever you see that, it means it's on the train. And speaking of a train, we got a party train in Academy already. An early fight, suspicious bushes, and the loser's queue. With Fate Strikes being that casualty, it was traded back for Kaizaro, who does also get confirmed, but Fate Strikes does not. Was able to get resurrected. Stragars was right there with the loser's queue, so they are still strong. 4 members now pushing up on SB's territory. They've got the northern part of Academy, while loser's queue are towards the south.
Yeah, and these early fights with Resurgence turned off have kind of so much more what's the right word? Like implications or impact on the game. Like, you know, with Resurgence on, it's a little like the early kills don't matter as much, but when you turn it off, like we saw last game, right? Our homies going after Blinkstone getting wiped out almost instantly at the very beginning. And you know, with Resurgence, it's very likely that maybe it won't happen because other teams won't chase them, or you know, just knowing they're gonna get that kind of automatic reset. So I'm really liking kind of seeing because we haven't spectated any games, I haven't at least, with Resurgence off in a bit, or literally since they added that option and since Resurgence has been on. So it's pretty interesting to see. We still see a good bit of split farming, right? It's not like crazy violence at the beginning, but all 3 games now we've seen at least a couple early level 1 fights, and a couple of them almost going the distance. OC gonna get a res off here for suspicious pushes. They're gonna be just fine. Have gridlock to their own. They do have a member up here still.
I have noticed a lot of teams, like a lot of tournaments at least, are starting to try to do Resurgence lists. They want to have more of the meaningful fights early, where if you do get taken down, it is going to have a lot more meaning. So at least for a lot of the players, like if they have any say, they'll always ask for Resurgence to be taken off. But like kind of said, it's not always the case.
Yeah.
But seeing how it is here for Sprokane's event, I believe they did that last time as well. They
it makes
wanted to play
sense.
with
Like
no
at this
Resurgence.
elo, it kind of makes sense, you know, just like these, and a lot of these guys have played with the game that way for much longer than they've played with the Resurgence on, even though it's been on for a bit, you know. And so yeah, it definitely, like at this elo, like I think these guys are looking for meaningful fights even at the level 1.
Right. And here at level 5s and 6s, Loser Skew, they've left the academy and now they're staring down Mist, but don't want to look for the pull, not while they know that Bright
Aiden,
Shield's there.
so
That's going to be the
crazy
pull from long down distance. Dracos takes out Stargars as Loser Skew now in a bad spot because Fate Strikes also had been toppled. The Storm pushing in, but it's an early Storm, not going to do too much, but when you get spiked like that, the team can now throw up. Mist looked like they want to remove Loser Skew early and take them out completely. There are the rings and barely missing the pull. Dracos, though, in hot pursuit, was looking for that shiv. But do you want to go over the abyss in order to find that?
He almost like
able to
peeked in there. Almost went past him.
They're
This
still
is
in the
scary,
storm,
though.
still fighting.
Oh, he
That's
gets
the
the slam.
But not the damage to stick. Has to keep chasing it, and there goes the Loser's Q, eliminated early.
NT. That's like, especially, I mean, it wouldn't have mattered there, but it's a little rough playing Shiv in the storm because it turns off your self-healing. Same thing with like Brawl and stuff, because the or the, you know, the no heal of the storm. But I don't think it would have made a difference there. Really nice pursuit there, actually, by Dracos to find that final.
Oh no, not again. Not again. Do you see what I see? Do you see what I see?
I do see it. I do see it. A little terror with a little stone that blinks.
This should be illegal.
There's a few things in this game
like,
that should be illegal. This is one of them.
It's like when we saw Delicate Skies on Kingpin all the time.
Yeah.
Like, anytime it was Delicate Skies, you give it over to your Kingpin. I feel like that's Blinkstone right now with Bebo. You get Blinkstone, you give it to Bebo. You just let him have that Blinkstone tonk, and nobody's ever going to be able to spot it out. In time, there will be plenty of kidnaps. As we did see our next team that got eliminated, the Toe Lickers, unfortunately. Great name, but not doing so well. And now the Coin Flippers try to take on the Suspicious Bushes, but look at Hachi on the other side. He could go for the flank, but they're already losing on Otazen, who's taking so much damage, and that's going to be the Felix gone, but they might have been able to reset. Up in the air, it is the Eye of the Storm. Darkin, though, spiked right back down. That emergency fortress didn't save your life, and it was your doom and your tomb, as Suspicious Bushes are eliminated.
Yeah, really nice by Team Coin Flip there. Well fought. Like, pretty clean 4v4, and they just kind of get the better of him. Even though they caught Hachi out at the beginning, he kind of had the flank the whole time there, and it was looking kind of good. OC had a nice entry there, but yeah, TCF really just lock it down. No one able to get out, get that pretty early squad wipe. So that's our 3rd squad out. 7 squads left here in game 3. We got this kind of southern circle. We see the migration of players. TMO looking against Pop here.
Gotta watch the Bebo play. See how that Blinkstone's gonna work. Also having the tactical nuke too. Sending that one out. Bofa have been able to get towards the camp. The nuke not actually doing too much, but Salma High is not done. They're chasing this down. The pull on Celeste immediately with the chilling finale. That bomb from Orlando's, though. That's the real damage dealer. That's the kicker for Team Miso. As Bofa, they even go into the storm just to get away. They knew how much danger that Team Miso and Bebo were already presenting.
Yep, Mershak was able to get out south. He might be able to just ego this. Gets the bump. Oh, so close.
Yeah, so close. But Merchak now realizing was too much. It was just too much to hope for that Team Miso weren't going to be able to show up. It was, I think, only a single res that would have happened. But now Merchak in a bad spot will be taken down. So Bofa down to 2 players as they were able to get the revive on the other side to Depbarek. But now that means that they are down a Jewel as well.
Yep, and they did get Adam Mark back off the box red, it looks like, but yeah, Jewel down. They are going to survive that encounter, though. Dan, one of our scary-looking teams so far, pushing into MM here. Muffin Mayhem. We saw a bit from last game. Sinoid looking for the Abyssal Breaker there. Sprokane just going to kind of counter it. Not much going to come out of it. They are going to maybe get this soul, kind of just trying to hold space. They do get it.
That's their second soul. They get both souls in the game already, and just from taking them, not actually having fought in order to get either of them. They were just able to farm it up. Nobody contested the first one when they got the armor soul, and now having the damage soul too. That's why I think Dan are already peeling back. They don't really want to deal with it at this point.
Yeah. And like looking pretty even as far as items go, but yeah, I think that's the right call from Dan. Looking to scale a little bit more before they take that, or find a situation like this where another team helps them out with a third-party flank. MST looking here on Muffins. Dracos. Oh,
nice spot, but they're not done. Echo with a pushback. Abyssal Breaker on both sides. A lot of damage, but now is Dan time to strike. They're looking towards Muffin Mayhem, but Muffin Mayhem has already gone north, missed replacing them. But the missed team still looks for the pressure onto Dan Bridges, who try to get Dan back on the feet. Back for the namesake as they find a nice knock, but it's going to be Dan again taken down. Another flank there from Miss, but Muffin Mayhem, they flank again. Third party, the third party.
Dude,
as
Echo.
Puba is going to be the first one, but Echo has gotten Dan Bridges and Ari going far away from the team, splitting up. Only 2 to survive for Dan Bridges.
Dude, Echo, our hero from last game, just popping off, like really having a good day. A really nice fight there. Gets a couple like kills in the back as his team is getting crunched. Muffin played that so well, bro. They peel out to the right, they loop around, they come right up under and have a really nice third party of their own after getting threatened by the third party themselves. So really well played kind of macro position there by Muffin. They're gonna look to hold that space they just got with that fire. TS over here though.
Coin flippers and Type are nearby if they wanted to fight with both sides.
Look at these wings, dude.
Ooh.
They're everywhere.
Interesting.
3 wings, 2
everyone
effects.
but Joshua having it. So most of the team for TS having hover wings give them a lot of options of escape if they need it. We are kind of focused here on right outside of where that storm, the corrupted zone after getting the meteor beast has been, where we've had these teams kind of group up, one of them being the coin flippers who've kind of been working their way south and find Type Shi, and Type Shi are going to get forced into this battle with a beautiful use of the Felix ult, but missing the blast off. They've already taken down Flawed, try to heal up the best they can. They traded back 1 for 1, but here comes the nuke, and we see that Hachi splits up the fight, but QU dashing back in so they can try to get the resurrection onto Flawed. Hachi barely alive, and then the spike onto QU, trading his life for Flawed's as the rest of TS bail.
Yeah, Hachi kind of baiting him in there. They do secure that. Violence up here from just crushing each other. And we saw Muffins down there, so they made their way up, and now they're in it with TMO. Looking like they might have gotten the better of them a little bit. Arcane is down, but still 3 members up. How do you say that?
Presmoam is now getting attacked by Team Miso and doesn't really have many options. Nice pick there. Was able to get that. It almost was traded as they almost had found their own turnaround, but sadly for them, they were completely split up. And now we look at the remnants of the Muffin Mayhem squad. Sinoid and Theo way down south away.
It looks like they're going to have plenty of time. They have a lot of space down there. If no one kind of goes after this, it looks like actually Dan, right as I say that, is looking to make their way down with a crown of their own, but do have slight numbers advantage. 1 more member up than our Muffin homies. Right as I say that, TCF engaging on the south of Boff here. Looking...
Boff. I think Boff is kind of more just like waiting to see if coin flippers are going to actually flip that coin, if they're willing to go for that fight.
Nice
if the pull
shield.
lands from Nios, then they definitely go for it, but a nice bright shield. But probably no team's going to go for that instead. We'll have to look at where our crowns are. Type sheet. They have a crown here. They've kind of worked their way right through the middle.
Tom kick on the
avoiding some. Yeah, that's actually unusual to see. Not used to seeing him play anything outside of that Kingpin.
I know he can. He definitely can play other hunters, but I haven't seen him on the Zeph specifically.
Right.
I don't know if I've ever have actually.
I mean, but it is Tom Kick. Tom Kick.
Yeah, like
one of
that's
our
what
players
that's
played
kind of
with
what I was
us
getting
so
at. He's
long.
such an experienced player that he could literally grab anyone, and I'm sure it'd be really good. Oh, we just saw a Tonk that I missed, bro.
Oh,
Orlando
Tonk
gets
play.
Joshua. Oh, I saw it on the map.
Nice.
Oh, so just Tom Kick left with the crown. Oh.
Oh, but Muffin Mayhem, and that actually is great for the Muffin Mayhem squad. They needed that because they were looking battered. They got themselves back in a better spot, and as they look to see if they can fight back against Team Miso, this is Team Miso with that Blingstone Bebo! Always catching every team out of position, but Blackrock took a lot of the damage. That's right, he had to spin Nesh away, but Bebo on the hunt looking for Draco as they burned him down, but he was able to at least dash away. Bofa, hearing the fight, they've moved upwards and want to engage themselves as we see Muffin Madness. Their crown play worked. They have the whole team regrouped, but now that Mist has grabbed their own crown on the other side, it's down to Echo. Might be able to bring back in Kuba, but they have a third party onto Dan if they want to. They could always look for this play, but no pull onto anybody's. Brocane doing a good job of keeping that shield, so nobody is going to be dragged into the battle against Muffin Mayhem.
Yeah, Echo kind of trying to bait some people out, maybe get a cheeky pick with the crown. I love how this guy plays, dude. He's playing so aggro, but he's like pulling it off, man. So many good kind of 1vx's we've seen from Echo already, and it's only game 3. Look at this man. Really knows how to pilot the
wings
RJ,
and everything.
Love
Yeah,
to see it.
it's great when you see this kind of Bishop played. It reminds me a lot of Prismaticism, as you were talking about before, but we go north and we see coin flippers decimating both as they try to run, but Echo was already up there, and they're trying to bring back in Kuba as they look for this knock on Cookies, who's on the tracks and now put into the abyss. Well, the kill should be confirmed on the other side. They have gotten the res. That's going to be the pullback in with a broken shield to take down another member of Mist.
Nice grab there.
As Draco's is also
Adamark,
taken.
go, buddy.
Adamark by himself, hoping to hold on. Looks for Kuba, dodging away.
Oh, he does
surviving it. Nicely done by Adamark, keeping both of them up.
Yeah, that was, I literally don't know how you didn't get spiked there. That was very well played.
We saw another one of those Bebo Tonks, but it was on to Sprocane a little bit tankier, a little bit more difficult to actually burst down, as the choo-choo train will pass on by Dan Bridges. Pushing back in, Flame Shield onto one, but Dan, it is difficult for them to get into the desert, especially when they have to look at Miso, who then look for the play on to Echo,
the
but Echo,
Blingstone, dude. Did you see that?
very well done. I love that, seeing that he was able to get right over that card.
That was very like, he's seen that go a couple times. Like, not me, bro. I know what you're trying to do.
He saw it just in time to be able to avoid, but Muffin Mayhem are not avoiding this battle as they got pulled in. Xenoid, Takey though, is able to get back. Third party, Dan Bridges. The coin flippers now struggle. As Otozen is going to be the first one with Fall from Grace. The next, the bunny's gone. 2 members will survive for the coin flippers, but we see that Adamark did eventually get found out by Team Miso all the way on the other side.
Yep, and like Muffin been looking really strong this game, man. In a really good spot. They've had a couple situations they've just played very tactically well. Dude, and Echo again, last member left with crown. Now I'm expecting him to pull this off because I've seen him do it now a couple times.
I'm getting big prismaticism vibes.
Dude,
right
prismaticism revived 2.0 here in Echo. Really fun to
Team
watch.
Miso finding the pick onto Arcane. Already starting off the fight well, but the rest of it didn't go so. Because Bebo, he had to put the attention to the back line while they have the chilling finale. Kalak tries to get away while Echo getting attacked by the coin flippers. Adalak is trying to survive, but Akka is still there, and we see over 1 second left. Mist are back, and right where Dan is, they go for Sprocane. The Trenzy and the rest of the team trying to regroup onto the position where Mist had just landed, and now that they all are here, Mist, the 2-way tunnel, almost was able to find the angle for Dracos with that slug wave, but you're not taking up when your shield is broken like that, so Mist, kite back and up.
Dude, this is just such a crazy game. We have so many crowns all over the place getting proc. Everyone, Emin get theirs right there. Take out TMO, the last player in Akilinks there. and they're going to get their 4th member back. MM looking terrifying. Double soul, 3 golds, really evolved items, scary powers. Like, this is the team to beat here. MST, though, you can never count them out with Echo alive. Just I mean, we saw this situation just last game where Echo was, you know, the last member up, and we thought him out, but ends up coming and getting the dub.
I feel like they need that crown if that's going to be the play they're looking for Echo.
It's
That's
probably,
what works
yeah,
out
he's
so
got
well.
no options right here for it.
Well, MM, Dan, fighting it out. Dan want to take away the double souls that MM had grabbed earlier on. We're able to get that second one right in the face of Dan Bridges before, and look at all that gold on the other side. They try to go for the Blinkstone play out of their Kingpin, while Echo might disrupt a little bit. MM have been pushed their backs up against the canyon walls, but MM are still strong for a reason. They have so much working for them. Even if that emergency portrait is up, they can still look for the play, but MM they decided to go back and set as they were looking for Miss. They got rid of Krona, and now Kuba is going to be the next target, taking out more members, but not actually getting the team wiped just yet.
Yeah, I think they all hit that thing and went through the wall. Again, really well, like, kind of positional play by Muffins here. Kind of like having the superior macro, I would say, this game. Really handling these, like, third-party situations well. They all take that blink across the wall, get that squad wipe over there on the last number. Hachi, last number left here for TCF. Same thing with Echo, but he does get the crown. Doing crazy RJ Wings things, just way up in the skybox. Hachi not able to replicate it, does get taken out at 4th there. So 3 squads left, one of them just being Echo. He's chilling though.
That's why he's waiting for the spite. Dan Bridges, Muffin Mayhem, the stare down, and Bishop to watch, because what do you want to focus on? Do you want to put your attention trying to get rid of that crown, or would you rather deal with the actual threat in front of you?
Yeah, it's
and
a tough.
Try to go for the squad.
It's such a tough call here, especially because the other squad, like, there's nothing to play around. The other squad's right there. Like, you can't kind of like juke them or go the other way. Like, they're just kind of in an arena here together.
It's pretty much which team loses a member first. Whatever team drops down to 3, that's when they might turn to look for Echo, because that tornado is doing.
Oh wait, they look. They both
Echo.
kind of looked here. They're like, oh wait, guys, 20 seconds. Maybe we will. I'll kill this guy.
Yeah, because they don't want to. Now they don't want to deal with a third party, but they can't actually get Echo, so they know
Dude,
Echo's way up here.
this Hunter
but he's
is
just gonna
crazy,
blast up
bro.
away. There it is. Goes away far with 7 seconds.
Wow,
5,
Echo
4,
doing it again.
3, 2, 1. Here's back Mist in the party, and they can third party this. But
Damn.
broken shields on everybody. Gonna be difficult. The first casualty, the Ari taken down. As MM realize they can fight now. They can look for this singularity, though, popping 2. Mist not able to drag this one back as they find the snipes on the Dan Bridges. Only Theo and Arcane survive. Mist have punted them into the storm. 2v4. Somehow, so many crowns for Mist that allowed them to get back in the game, and now only Arcane to deal with. It's Echo MVP with Miss 200 winning.
Insane, bro. Back to back, twice in a row. Echo refusing to die, refusing to be touched on the Bishop, just existing in the skybox. No one can do anything about it, bro. Playing it to absolute perfection, though. Has the map working for him, has the huge wall, has the NATO, has the wings, just does everything perfectly. Gets his squad back at the perfect time to put Dan in the full pincer there. And just a perfect third party. They fight it out really well as the rest of the team comes back. And GG, another win for Miss. 2 in a row off of the back of Echo Crown. So let's go, bro. Massive.
Why? Absolutely wild. Here, I'm going to message Sprokane really quick to say we need a break.
Yeah, I just need a couple minutes, like 3 minutes.
Yeah, I'm going to type that in the chat there, too, just in case. I just sent the message to Sprokane. 3. All right, I'll be right back. Alrighty, there we go. Much better. Whew.
I'm back.
Alright, welcome back.
Wait, wrong headphones. These guys are insane.
I know, I love it. Ooh.
We are casters already.
Yeah, caster. No, I'm gonna say casters. I just messaged Smoking so that way they could hear. Ah, man,
This
what
is
a wild game though, that
going
last one.
So crazy with this chat.
I'm just looking at that. It's always funny when they do that, like, but the noise sometimes just gets so loud, you're like, ah!
Look at me. Sinoid's telling everyone to shut up now that we got Sinoid equals noobs coming through.
The funny thing, too, is it's not just, like, 2 or 3 people. It's, like, 7 or 8 of them.
Oh, I thought I was about to get last there right as it got shipped in.
Ah, almost. Alright, I think we have 3 more games to get through.
Cool. This is fun, man. I really love watching you, actually.
Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, I just like watching SUPERVIVE,
Well,
and it
yeah.
makes me really hyped for, like, if this game keeps growing and it keeps getting better and better, like, gets that community to become a big esport, like, the potential that there is for events, like, you know how we were talking yesterday about lands and stuff?
Yeah.
God, I can only imagine how awesome lands for SUPERVIVE would be.
Dude, yeah, it kind of gives me, I kind of got goosebumps when we were talking about that yesterday, dude, because it would be actually so cool to, and especially just to, like, you know, meet you in person, see you face to face, get to hang out, like, that kind of stuff would be really cool.
I mean, like, so I know you're new to casting and haven't been able to do lands, but lands are just so different. Being there with, like, with the person you're casting with, so you can feed off each other's energy a lot easier. It's a lot easier to pass. You're not as worried about interrupting because you can see the person. But when you have a crowd too, and they're getting just as involved,
I never even really thought about that.
It really will feed in. Like, when I did LCS once, and there's the crowd, like, I would make jokes, and a lot of them start laughing, and just, you get the whole crowd, like, with you on things. Like, the moments you pop off, the crowd's, like, really hyped, too.
That's awesome, dude. That's actually so sick.
So good. That's what I'm hoping we get to with SUPERVIVE one day.
I think we will, dude. I think we're gonna get there one way or another.
Agreed.
Aiden keeping up his APM here.
I noticed that too. I think we are. Oh, we're waiting on Koopa. That's what it was. I was wondering what we were waiting on.
Jesus.
Select your hunter.
All
He's
right.
just would not let up.
No, that typical Aiden. Typical Aiden right there.
The hunt sets us free. You are the drop leader.
My dog just came over. I'm just petting my dog really quick.
I'll go.
She's a good dog.
Good dog.
I don't have cam on today, so can't show that off today. Whew. All right, now 3 games. We've gotten missed winning 2 of them, but that last one was really. That was an. Okay, so we talked about game 1. Team Miso's win was an Orlando's win. Game 3, 100% an Echo win, right?
And he did it the game before that too, bro. He did the same thing the game before, which is so crazy. He procced. They were down to 1, just Echo. He procs their crown, gets his whole team back just in time, and they clean up the fight in game 2. So that's like literal back-to-back Echo crown, team wins there for. Sorry, I just spaced on the name. Miss, thank you. And
but the thing that's crazy for me about that 3rd game, more so than even the 2nd, was that was something like his 3rd crown in that
True.
one game.
True. He did proc a bunch. He was just like, I think since the last game, he's just like feeling himself. Yeah, we saw him have a couple of really good fights down here in this area last game. But yeah, that was
Exactly.
It's
kind
so
of
fun
wild.
watching Bishop too, bro. Like the things she can do. Oh, look at this. Three squad race here over to Cold Fang.
Yeah.
Some kind of peeling off, but
Selmer's still going for it, so it looks like the point flippers are still on their way. Losers queue, Fate Strikes in a bad spot up against Muffin Mayhem, one of our finalists from the last game. So Mayhem, thank you so much for the raid. I appreciate that. Welcome in. How are your games today? Hopefully they went well. Because right now we're still watching this Brocane event where we're having all the teams drop. We have a lot of teams still fighting around Skyrat's run. But
everyone
I
just
think
fighting
like
for scraps here, bro, as they make their way over. These level 1s and 2s, just like everyone trying to get every little bit they can get on this migration to Cold Fang. Everyone hit right here in Skyrats, and it's just like everyone's just getting any little bit they can on their way over. Looks like we got all 3 teams with 1 member getting there at the same time. Fate
They're
Strikes
hoping for the
LQ.
base camp, and they're hoping for the recall immediately afterwards. That's the play. You send whoever you can to get the base camp, then you recall immediately from there. It does seem that Muffin Mayhem, they're the ones in control of the base camp area, but Sinnoh not actually going for it just yet.
Yeah,
bring the rest of the team.
And the rest of LQ is kind of closest, and they're kind of finishing off these camps in Skyrun on the way up. And then it looks like for TCF, Fall from Grace is just kind of like stealing camps here, trying to get what they can, knowing that they're probably going to peel out and not going to be the ones winning this because they have Otizen down at level 1 still. And remember, no resurgence here. It's turned off. And so these early kills are going to matter a lot more than normal. Dan looking like they might get into it with Mist here. Our winners.
Oh, the train shows up and helps out Dan. I don't know if the train actually did the damage or if it was Dan right before the train hit.
I am not sure either. We got there just in time. It looks like they are going to be able to get out of it. They're going to run right into TMO to the north, though, who's coming down from Magefog. Kuba is going to get through the rings.
Tightening.
He's in a weird spot, though. He's kind of
scanning.
Right in the middle of... MST is so split now. It looks like Chrono is going to be rerunning right into TLC. He's going to be just fine, too, though, on the train. Kingpin, Dracos might get caught. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
There goes Dracos. I feel like Mist weren't sure where they wanted to go from here. It could have been simply go onto the train, go for a recall from there, or try to see what part of the map hasn't really been farmed up too much early on so that they can try to push for level 7s, but they are struggling. Dan having gotten themselves a pretty decent amount of the farm at level 7, so no team is going to want to go up against them early.
Yep, they just got their 7 off of that camp. They do get the Fang. They're going to crack the Abyssal Vault here. Getting like a couple decent things in there. You can see a turtle at least.
Rescue turtle, yep. Rescue turtle, some gold. Those will be nice.
And it looks like SB is going to be making their way over. Suspicious Bushes. We've seen a couple nice plays from these guys on the day. Darkin going to look for some intel. Going to just kind of look on the Jewel solo. The rest of his team going to come up on this ledge and try to back him up. Sprokane maybe pushing a little too far there. OC finds the angle.
Not realizing that they were there,
bro.
missing the pull.
Wow.
Nice from Sprokane.
Really nice feathering
playing
there from Sprokane.
right
OC
at the edge,
going,
and then
though.
OC too far. The team wasn't prepared. Second win to snipe down OC. And while it started off so well for Suspicious Bushes, unfortunately an overcommit from OC gives it back to Dan.
Yeah, just a little too hypey there sometimes. That's what I look like when I play, dude. I just ship it. I overship it way too often.
Oh, me
I just
too,
get
all the
too
time.
caught up in the moment. I'm like, this is it, and then I'm just dead. I'm like, wait, what?
So yeah, I always do that where it's like, okay, we have the fight angle, we can go, everyone, just go, and then I go and no one else.
Yeah,
Like, oh.
yeah, that's my story of my games a lot of times too, for sure.
Are we just getting nothing but Blinkstones for our first exotics every single
Dude,
game?
true, bro. There's been a lot of Blinkstones. I wonder if that's something they toggle. I wonder if you can
Maybe,
test
because
it.
I've been seeing that, and I've been seeing the boom boxes, like be the
True. Yeah, we have
primary
seen a lot of
go-to.
boxes too. We haven't seen that many box uses, but we have seen a lot of boxes like out on the map. Got
Yeah.
a three-way scrap here
Meteor beast incoming.
between Dan,
Go Liquor.
TLC, and Mist. Mist, our winner of the last two games off the back of Echo Crowns. Nice punch into the wall there on Mithy. Little Bishop v Bishop violence. Echo really wants it here.
Yeah, he really wanted that one, but he split off from the rest of his team. Well, Mist were dealing with what was at their flank. Dan Bridges have been slowly pushing back. That's why Echo had to relent. Couldn't continue that hunt onto the toe lickers. Instead, has to deal with Trenzy. Nice hit into the wall, but Fate Strike Singularity onto two. Lots of damage. This
he gets
person
caught.
down Mist, who are struggling.
Oh, the train.
And Echoes the train to help out a little bit. You hop aboard, but no, you didn't want that one. You fall into the abyss, and
Warning,
Dan,
storm
they were able
closing.
to take down Mist only to Kuba.
So Echo finally taken out. I think this is the first time we've seen Echo being not the last member alive for Mist. So Kuba looking to fill the shoes of the Bishop, try to find the play to bring the whole team back. In a bit of a rough spot, literally in between four squads here. If he can kind of wait this out, let Purple move past, he might have a much better chance. Maybe look for a closer beacon. Probably still has time for that one based on the storm damage to the south. And it looks like he is going to do that. So
Yeah.
nice. Kind of nice little spot he found south of the vault
Enemy
right there to hide it
Oracle
out, make his way
online.
back over. Is going to be able to get to that beacon, it looks like. So MST not out of it yet.
No, and with enough fighting happening at Manicoils, they know they're safe. They're not gonna both simultaneously disengage and look to see if they can play around that early respawn. Instead, they're gonna stick around the Manicoils. We even see that Dan Bridge is getting that knock onto the toe lickers.
Oh, yeah. we
Mithy
got...
was the first casualty all the way over there, and even still playing aggressively. Ashikati is gonna be the next one they want to get, but that Brawl will take the chains away. So many teams are grouped up at the Manicoils, but not fully fighting. Not like here when we go over to the Chaos Steps, where Bofa and the coin flippers were trying to flip the coin, but with the bunny down, the fight is there for Bofa. They've reset. Even if you have the two-way tunnel, they're finding the knocks and now only have to deal with a Bishop who's on the run.
Yeah, nice fight there from Bofa. Gonna get a couple members to level 10 off of that. Coming back down to Coils, though. Even more teams here now. Looks like, oh no, still just three, but we got
An
Purple kind
enemy
of hovering on the
Oracle
north,
is
and then we got one member of TCF, Hachi, coming down on the left. But that kind of just, like you said, like kind of posturing, no one actually going for an engage. It looks like Dan Bridges' squad is going to kind of peel out to the bottom. Right here, oh, right as I say that, though, TMO looking for the flank onto Muffins. Muffins been playing so good today, bro. They've had so many good fights. Huge grab there.
Playing for the Soul. The Soul, it's Shrapnel. It's picked up by Muffin Mayhem. They steal that from Team Miso, but the pull back to give us back what we rightfully fought for, as they are going to topple two. Mister on the other side. They could intervene, but here comes Bofa hearing the fighting. They've
Adam
noticed. Have they? There it is. They've noticed Echo, Bissell Breaker. Dave, that's how you get rid of the MVP. You kill him first.
Adam Mark sneaking up in the bush there. Well played. Yeah, they do get the pick onto Echo. They're looking for the rest of Mist here. trying to finally finish this squad that's been kind of so annoying to these other guys coming back for the victory in the last 2 games. Kuba is going to kind of hide on that bush. Probably is going to get away with it here. So looking to be, again, the last member left, kind of clutching that final res. TCF pretty split, though. We see Otizen way up north on the Fox. Right as I say that, bunch of kills happening. Where is this happening?
I wouldn't say though, Sick. This is day 3, and we haven't had a team eliminated yet. In our past 3 games,
crazy.
at least one team had fallen by day 1. Getting this far for EU is kind of incredible, and this is where I'm expecting it to really start to boil over, where we're going to have a lot of these fights and teams are going to start falling left, right, and center.
Yeah, Dan fighting really well, kind of winning this soul away from Type Shit. They're going to have to peel off. Tom Kick barely missing a hook on that fight to potentially turn that one around. And coming back to Mist here, Kuba is going to be the last one left. Does get pushed out of his bush. But hopefully, Boff and TCF kind of keep each other busy. It looks like he is going to get some space to the north there.
Where's the respawn beacon?
Yeah, he doesn't have
really
many options.
Yeah, there's Crown inward if he wants to go into the circle, but that will definitely expose him.
Oh,
a lot of teams grabbing him. Nice punt back.
Momentum on that punch,
flying. Same with Hachi. Getting out of that one, but that recall from Adam Arg says, hello!
Dude.
You didn't expect me here, did ya? Taking down Hachi with a creative angle.
Yeah, very nice. Coming to huge damage out of Type Shit. They just like come over and delete 2 members of TLC in the 2v2 now. Tom Kick might be the last one left. Does get the grab into the slam.
Doesn't have the slug wave though. Trying to fight back. That's going to be the push back. Rockets do connect. Tom Kick waiting for the cooldowns. Wants one more slam. Utilize that abyss the best he can, knowing it is a difficult way to chase, especially in the Kingpin. Yeah, 50 was stuck that whole time. Two-way tunnel. Tom Kick utilizing that to outplay Mithy, completely shattering their ankles.
Yeah, really nice there by Tom. Is going to find this crown here. Might even have a beacon angle, but probably not even going to look for it. Tom kind of extremely practiced at these end game, not even end game, just like, nice. Orlando's on the Kingpin away from the Bebo, coming over into the dunk.
Bebo this time around.
They're going for the box here.
I'm trying to get the damage as it is going to be a 3v3, but the res there brings it back over for Dan Bridges. That armor shield starting to help him out a little bit, keeps their armor at least a little bit topped off so it's not quite broken. While Team Miso peeling back. Suspicious bushes are in the vicinity, but they too want to get back with the rest of their team.
Still 10 squads. This is crazy. Fate Strike's last member left on the Void, probably living because of his glider gas. Actually such a strong power on a low mobility champion, but he's going to be going into a rough spot here, bro.
Oh no, that's not looking too good. Tries to swap, does get that verticality, but unfortunately brought back down to reality. As losers queue our first team, and Cross Country Storm is the storm shift. So teams will be having to travel a lot, especially down the tracks, with the full breaking out of fights. As the coin flippers had to use their ult defensively to get away. Toe Lickers had a better spot, but with the slug wave denied. Cookie's not getting the damage on the TLC they needed. Here are Mist looking for their own crown, and guess who has it again? Echo back where he loves to be.
He does, man. We've seen it. Seen it multiple times. He still has 2 members this time, though, alive on the top left.
I think the bigger thing, though, he doesn't have hover wings this time. Glider fuel, yes, that is going to help him out a lot, but not having the hover wings, I think, is going to be the big thing going against Echo this time.
This is close. He's going to get it.
Got it.
Nice, okay. TMO on the bush play. Kind of right in the middle of, wow, there's actually so many squads here. 4 squads.
We've only had one squad eliminated. This
is kind of a wild one, I'm not gonna lie.
End game, we are getting to the end game. We have so many teams, and here's gonna be one fight breaking out. Almost were able to find SB as they push them back, both are winning decisively and completely crush SB. But now Team Miso, after they heard all those cooldowns used, they could have looked for the fight, but instead give some credit over to Bofa and decide to fall back.
Dude, I just saw Echo
Enemies have
get a
captured
kill.
a
He
medium
procs
soul.
crown again. Whole team back. I think they are. Kuba might go down in the storm, but they are going to get most of their team out. This cross-country storm is moving so fast, bro. Look at this. Look at this.
It is so fast. And Toe Lickers, we didn't even get to say they were another team that has been eliminated. Cross Country Storm really does have to make you migrate fast into the circle. And now we are playing around the heart.
Enemy
Just see where the
Oracle
next circle is
overlord.
going to be after that. As
Oh.
we do
Enemies have
lose
captured a
Miss.
soul.
They've won twice in a row. They couldn't get it 3.
TMO taking that soul too. Now looking scary in their own right. Getting close to level cap here. They do have the boombox, nice looking powers, and now the shrapnel soul on top. So anyone with an armor advantage against them is not going to have that for long. Just a couple big shots and it will be all chipped away. There's not a ton of big armor out there though, to be real. Oh, I guess here Bofa has some nice,
The eye
nice
of the
armors.
storm is on the move.
Yeah,
You got
they
gold
played that
there.
earlier fight so well, Bofa did.
Nice. Ooh, nice wombo combo. Every alt used to try to take
Dude,
down TS
another one.
Taishi. Definitely gonna feel bad about that one. Only Tom Kick remains, and the coin
Oh.
flippers find him and say goodbye, TS.
Yeah, that's 2 back-to-back fights by Bofa. Just really strong engages off of the back of Adamark and team following up with that huge abyssal breaker. And yeah, basically 2 squad
An
wipes for
enemy
them.
oracle is
Are we?
scanning.
Do you know? Are they doing kind of the kill points, placement points, kind of like normal? And they're like scoring it up at the end.
I would have to ask Sprokane. if
I would
that-
imagine they're doing something like that, right?
Yeah, I would imagine. Obviously, a lot of this is for fun.
Totally,
Just kind of
totally.
getting more practice for EU, especially with different teams, and understanding different players inside and out, having new strategies brought to the table. But
Even
I
for
would have to
fun,
ask.
though, these guys are competitors, so they like keep
Yeah.
score, even if it's for fun, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I expect they're doing something like that. But if they are, and squad wipes, you know, matter, that's 2 squad wipes back to back. So kind of ranking up their points there for Bofa.
Yeah, exactly. So I would definitely have to look at that as well. See what they're doing. As Bofa still holding out right outside of Kobayashi's. It's getting towards the end game.
Here's a
And
Blinkstone KP here on Nios.
that is true. It is a lot of fun to watch that as well, especially with the kidnaps that you're able to utilize on that. If you land the pull, Blinkstone backwards, spring the pull, like take them more than just 1 or 2 screens away. It's usually
Yeah.
like 3 or 4.
Right. Just way out of there. TMO kind of positioning against Dan. Dan having to be the ones pushing in. TMO does have kind of positional advantage with their fire. They're going to look to hold this flank. Kind of the offensive soul versus the defensive soul. Shrapnel versus armor. A tale as old as time. We will see it. But the armor team does have the superior armor. We'll
They
see.
do.
if
They have a
TMO's
lot of
gonna have to-
gold.
Yeah.
Only that 1 blue, and looking at where the storm is starting to push in. Nice use of the vortex charm, but getting back out of danger. TMO, it was dicey for half a second, but it does seem they are going to be fine for now. They put
Enemy
down their base
oracle
camp. I like this play from TMO. They're going to easily just be able to teleport their camp inside the base,
Storm's on
or
the move.
at least
Stay inside
more
its eye.
in a better spot so that they can spot out where the enemy is, like right there. Getting full vision of Dan and knowing that there is going to be a team to the north. And just go for the capture of it would be a little bit risky for
Oh, and
them.
they're going for
Now
the recall.
they recall. But
Yeah,
look at
really
how
nice
Bofa are
play.
playing. Bofa almost were in a position they could have tried to punish that one, but they didn't actually fully go for it.
Oh.
Echo Links, hover wings back
Oh,
the rest of
gosh.
the teams.
I was looking scary for a second. I was like, they weren't sure if they were going to all push that. That's a scary gap to push. Not going to lie.
It is.
Dan, though, on the mana battery cloak, love this power setup. This gives you infinite stealth here. Because the cloak's cost got like 3x, right? But the battery can keep it up to full. So we got basically perma stealth void, always a terrifying thing to be aware of on the map. Look at this shift, though. TCF is going to have the worst of it, making their way over from the far right.
Like, they could actually fourth party this if nobody realizes that they are so far away from the circle. The TMO, the first team on the tracks like this far out, trying to get a great position, while Bofa and Dan had a potential to actually punish them, but an Orb of Life being on
Final
field
abyssal
looks like
defeated.
Dan much
On the Oath
prefer to
too?
take
Yeah.
that up, take that,
big.
yeah.
That is big. I was gonna say TMO doing actually a really good job with that fire thing you called out, the fire teleport. Like really playing this cross country well, understanding the importance of positioning during these shifts. First one to kind of make it over to the next circle, they reposition their fire here, already lining up the next teleport for the next phase. And so, you know, we got to watch out for the macro of TMO with the Shrapnel Soul on their side as well. If they can kind of keep this up and play the cross-country storm, oftentimes that can be exactly what you need to kind of pull the victory out in these spicy final circles with the storm, because it's just like it plays so much differently than other final circles, right? You can't just sort of post up and expect it to be in the same spot. It's just constant mega shifts of the storm, you know, kind of placement, and teams that are aware of the shift, aware of the next one, constant positioning, vision, bonfire ahead of time are the ones that are gonna, you know, find the right fight to come out on top. So, but it's like it's really slowed down here, Magical. We got the last 2 or 3 minutes, just maybe even longer than that. Everyone kind of positioning between these 4 squads, not trying to, you know, over push, not wanting to make a mistake and give another team an opportunity. Now though, Bofa maybe in the roughest spot of them all, a bit kind of ISO. Just kidding, storm shift.
Yeah, I was about to say they were until you realized where the cross-country storm was pushing. That's why the coin flippers were hoping to flip the coin early. They were hoping to get themselves in that position where they were going to be able to steal that away. But Hachi and Otazen have been taken down. So Nios, Fall from Grace, the only ones that remain. Vortex Charm doesn't need to connect. Even though they picked up Hachi, they've been pushed into the storm and they lose Bunny. Kingpin, the next one that they look towards.
Huge.
And there goes our 4th team. And all this mayhem has given Team Miso time on the tracks to move up towards the circle.
Yeah, and that's a big squad wide, big death box there. A lot of loot for Dan. So Dan looking even scarier on the kind of, you know, powers, items, armor front. Do have the armor soul still, so it's going to be kind of up to TMO to take them out with this shrapnel soul. Oh, they're coming over the top though, Brocane.
Looking for them. They were hoping to get on top of Team Miso. They've got a lot of damage, but already with the chilling finale, it's forcing away Dan. And now look at the engage. Bofa
so
realizing
pinched.
this is the time to strike. They've got him caught in this end, which Akalinks is going to be the first one gone. While TMO are not done, but the bull to deny the res, and that's why Blackrock had to take the spot instead so they could get out of Kalak, and now they've gotten themselves a crown over to one of these islands. Felix hoping to get away. Salma Hayek using the flight of the Firefox just to get back with the rest of the team. 3 still stand for Team Miso.
Yeah, really nice. Oh, nice grab, but big recovery from Miso there to live that and get out with 3. Oh,
Dan almost lose Oath, might be able to get the damage. They've gotten rid of the shield, it's been broken, but that gold armor is difficult. The resistance you gain, that abyssal breaker breaking them down, and even with the crown, goodbye Team Miso. Bofa and down, now fight. Here's the train coming out of nowhere, making this fight split up while Dan are still over the abyss. They're hoping for the singularity. It's just locking them in place to make sure they can fight against Bofa. Swap over, the slam down from the slam of Primal, and almost have it. 2v3. Bofa in control of the tracks, while the islands are for Dan, but they've got a slug wave wailing away from Cookies. Ari doesn't get hit by the chains, but the rest of the team in hot pursuit as Ari finds himself spiked over the abyss. Only Sprocane's there, and these snowballs deny them. Another victory, this time over for Bofa.
Bofa having a really good game there. We saw earlier in that game multiple kind of like really fast team wipes going Bofa's way. We saw like 2 kind of back-to-back earlier. Bofa having really nice engages, just playing it really well. That was a crazy fight, and Dan Bridges goes for the Void Shift, looking to maybe save his team, and it ends up backfiring a little bit where I think they were maybe caught off guard. Adamark, huge abyssal breaker dunk right on the edge of the lava there to kind of turn things their way right after that shift, but Yeah, it seemed like that void shift is kind of where things turn there, you know? Like, they all get shifted out of Abyss, not quite ready for it. You know, one gets picked on the slam, and then they kind of just, like, wrap it up from there. But really well played that whole game by Bofa. Kind of textbook team fights the whole way through.
Yeah, I mean, well done. I gotta say, just a lot of awesome action here from our teams and how they're kind of going about a lot of these. And I think that the biggest surprise are the teams that are ending up winning these. Like, you see some teams with some really big names. Like, Dan is one that has a lot of really good players. You've got the Ari, Treadsy, Sprokane all on the team, and they are making it into the top 3 over and over again, but they haven't been able to actually take a lobby just yet. It's always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
Yeah, true. Yeah, they have been getting super close. They've been having some really good games. It's kind of a scary team, honestly, when you look at the names there. All right, I think we had a quick disconnect for like 2 minutes, and someone's gonna be back in.
All right, sounds perfect. I see a lot of the readies.
Just Mithy is ready. He's the only one.
Yeah. Back at it with the spam.
There we go. It only takes one person to get the everyone riled up into the chat frenzy.
Yep, always is the case.
It's about that 8 p.m., dude. Keeping the hands warm.
Gotta get the practice in, right?
Yep. That was so funny. Actually, you, I think you had hopped off for the night, but at the very end of last night, Pineapple hopped in the call with me and Nidhogg and Logic because he didn't, you know, Nidhogg hit him up for an interview, but he didn't see it till like half an hour later or whatever. And he hopped in. My train of thought just completely crashed. I was looking at Dan and I was gonna make a point between Dan and that, and I just completely lost it. It might be this chat spam, dude. It's like ringing my eardrums with the constant. Yeah, I can't remember. I probably will remember. We'll come back to that, but regardless.
Choose wisely.
Regardless, we're into the game. We got it. All right. Ooh, it's Bullet Train.
Let's go.
We got the Bullet Train whistle too. Always have to have the whistle.
Spectate for the Bullet Train.
I love me some Bullet Train. One of the best times.
Agreed.
Like, you know, I was thinking during that last game that I think something they need to do is when we have more events and more storm shifts, eventually as we get these events going, we'll make them harder by having double storm shifts where you can have like a cross-country bullet train.
Can you set up double storm shifts?
I'm talking about for SUPERVIVE. I'm talking about later.
Oh, gotcha.
Like,
that would be wild, dude. If you could
So
stack
you can
storm shifts.
Right.
That would
So
actually
you
be
can come
wild.
up with some really chaotic things.
Dude, that would be, yeah. Imagine like, I don't even know. There's actually so many. There's actually so many cool combos. Anything with bullet trains would be cool. Let's be real. Oh, I remembered what I was gonna say, dude. So we were talking about keeping the hands warm, and you know, the rule in the arena tournament last night was no emoting, right? And Pine said he unbound his emote from T, but he said it's like muscle memory. He's just spamming T so much that if it wasn't unbound, he would have been emoting like the whole time, like normal.
Sounds about right. With
Yeah,
Pine.
that's what I was thinking.
That very much sounds accurate to how I know Pine. But looking at this game, Game 5, we see that our Toluckers are going for the Academy. Doesn't seem like it's contested, though. Gridlock, actually, where a couple of the other teams had gone for.
Yeah, even down
Bushes,
here, kinda
Type She, Losers Queue. They kind of were going down south, but everyone else is splitting. No one really going for any hot drops in this one.
Yeah, and kind of a interesting like pathing here for the plane up on like the top right, and not a ton to drop for. Maybe we do have perhaps a little bit of spice over here. between TCF landing next to Mist, our winner of 2 games. They got game 2 and 3 off the back of Echo here. TCF looking to go for this. They get it.
TCF stealing away the camp, get that experience lead, and now they're chasing away Mist. I feel like this is their time to strike, but they got to be careful. There is still that camp on the other side.
Yeah,
One goes away, Chrono healing up so his team can try to get the camp, but now that they've already lost him, that camp is not looking so good, but Mist were able to secure that, so it's even. With a lot of damage onto Echo, burning down. The burn is too real. While Draco's helped out get Nios. Point flippers will come out ahead.
Yeah, nice punch there from Echo, 2 locked in. And hopefully these guys don't run into this other team over here, and they might. Kuba's so close. Okay, he is going to get intel, though, off of that UAV. And Draco's also still alive to the south here, so they're going to be just fine. They're going to be able to find that res, get that team back up. The other thing that's interesting with Resurgence off is if you do lose these early fights, it's such a tempo kind of disadvantage, right? Because now Echo at level 3, you know, Chrono level 2, Draco still has to make his way over to a res before they can even start getting XP. This res is probably going to be a little threatened even from these 2 squads up here, and so it's like a way harder to kind of, you know, get the tempo back without the Resurgence as well. Kind of a more subtle consequence. Where did that teleport just go?
Yeah, I was about to say, they went real far the wrong way. And they were able to find a pick over there that works out for them. But Muffin Mayhem, now that they have lost one of their members, are trying to kite back away. They're going eastward through the Chaos Steps, which could give that avenue we were talking to get back into this game for Mist. They are still pretty south in the well spring, and I think they'll be fine.
Yep, and Muffin on the train, looking for the res here as they drive by TCF and Dan on the vault. Oh, what a dodge. Ready for that. The Ari peels off of that vault and barely dodges the grab, but does so successfully. So TCF say, okay, we're not going to get that. Let's make our way up through Kobayashi's. They see do proc that res. Purr is like down here kind of on their own, but the rest of the team resed off the train, making their way up to Shards of Fate, seeing if they can get some farm through and a recover here. TCF might be looking though. Looks like they're kind of making their way up, looking pretty strong. They have 1-7. Might be looking to fight, probably looking to grab just 1 or 2 more camps, get everyone 7, and then look.
A lot they can look for, and for Muffin Mayhem being so split up, they don't really want that fight. Not like these 2 teams, Losers Q and Team Miso. They're gonna want another nice pull, slam down, but the flame shield denied a lot of that one. Dog crashing into the wall. Strikers is the first casualty. Aiden trying to get away, but Team Miso definitely cleaning up, and they're gonna be very content with that fight.
Yeah, Fate Strikes maybe did get out south, was looking for this res, but he's going to kind of get spotted out. Aiden doesn't get taken out, so Fate Strikes, last hope, has to avoid TS. Tom kick coming from the left, though. Oh, what a stun. Stops the slam.
But the chain there still following up with a bungee shot. Bye-bye, Losers Q. Second game in a row, they come out at 10.
Not going to be able to stay in it there. Nice try, but yeah, they were out 10 last game, but it was a lot deeper in. We had like 10 squads go, actually so deep last game. Only 4.5 minutes in here as SB looking to contest this yearbook maybe. No, they're going to call it off. So Suspicious Bushes is like, nah, you guys can have that. We don't feel ready to fight. Maybe TMO is going to secure that. So they got Abyssal Light Glider Jet on the depot. Looking pretty strong already for only a few minutes in here.
Soldiers and Dan. The roof not landing. Wasn't able to get the slam. But Mithy was able to take out Trenzy on the other side, and a lot of damage with a broken shield from Oath. And help him out, but Trenzy should be revived. There's a nice swap from Dan while Mithy still hunting. Looking to see if he can grab with anything. Get any lockdown onto Ari, but Ari throwing out the arrows. There's going to be more arrows from Ash. Got a nice flux snare to drag him back in with that phase walk. But they know exactly where you're going. They've locked in your position, Ari, and they get rid of the Myth. While the other members of Dan are still there. They've got to deal with that gold armor on Myth. and a myth on Void. And that is why they decide only to take out the myth and not fully engage.
Yeah, hungry for that armor shredder. Huge item, especially on the myth. Very scary, but extremely scary on the Shiv as well. So Shroom looking much more terrifying with that in the pocket. Coming back down to TS, who got our first squad wipe. Flawed going to get taken out by our Vivo Terror here, Orlando's. I think he's the only Vivo we've seen so far today.
I think so. I think
Making it look
Orlando's
good,
is the only one playing Vivo.
Making it look very strong. We saw him on Kingpin last game, but I think every other game he's been rocking the Vivo. Has had some monster plays. The rest of TS, Tom, Kick, and Joshua are looking for this res up in Wellspring, but they are going to get found out by Bofa, our winners of last game. Looking to ride their momentum off of that dub. Adamark has the gold. Not looking too bad on the item front. Yeah, every time we come to Orlando's, bro, he's just on the Wisp, killing someone.
Yup.
just hunting them down. Vivo glider gas. No one gets away.
So I was kind of curious because last time we saw we saw one of these competitions. They even added in a little bit with the draft on top of it, where whatever team gets last place can ban one hunter.
Oh.
And so I think that might be why we didn't see Orlando's playing the Bebo in the last game.
Oh, interesting.
Because there's banned, but only one player plays the Bebo in this lobby. Teldo is not here. Ezeb are not here. It is just Orlando's who has been putting in the practice on Bebo. As we go to another fight, Dan Bridges dominating the Muffin Mayhem, pushing him back and saying not getting into this one. We've revived us, Brocane. You might have the platform right outside of this one, but it's only a matter of time. While Miss have been hearing about the fighting, they were on the respawn and kind of want to regroup while we go down to our toe lickers, Mithy, the only one that remains.
Yep, fighting over the XP Soul here. XP Soul has like really interesting implications now. Like you need, ooh, nice grab. Not going to be enough though. So Kaizaro is going to get taken out, but you need 14 and 15 to realize the value. But now, instead of extra levels, XP Soul giving you those extra max ability upgrades where you can actually take all three abilities once you're 15 to level 4 is such a huge advantage on some hunters that it makes it, you know, possibly the scariest soul for certain team comps to come away with. MST fighting Dan up here though. Dan continuing the assault. Not really one to shy away from fights, constantly kind of keeping up the tempo. And they were so close last game too, bro. Just barely not able to make it happen with that shift out. Both are getting the better.
That's kind of what we're talking about with them, right? They're the bridesmaid team. Right. They've been able to make it into the top without actually taking a lobby just yet.
Maybe this is their one. They're looking pretty good here. TS is back in it. All 4 members up. Looking at Muffin, huge Tom Kick grapple primal slam.
But the pullback to try to save Sinoid, but the explosive damage. QU takes out Sinoid, who's trying to mantle on the other side, but the fight has been completely split. While QU might fall, it's the hunt for Theo. They're looking to get rid of one. But yes, they have split up completely. They're not working as a team. And now that Dan have shown up, they're about to look to see if they can help out third party this one. Muffin Mayhem, it's looking dire for you. The camera almost went away, but we gotta see that Muffin Mayhem got eliminated by Dan Bridges.
I wonder if there's a way I can turn off that auto shift. It always like right there, I clicked Arcane and it pulled me away and then it pulled me away again, and I don't know why.
I don't know why either.
But it's super annoying when I wonder. I'm gonna have to look. I should look at my spectator options, see if there's like some hotkeys. They need a hotkey for like, they might have one. I need a hotkey to like position in between 2 teams fighting. You know, not be like on one or the other, or not be on like a specific player.
You might have to ask Mayjam.
Yeah, like Mayjam was like a thing of perfection yesterday.
Yeah.
On the arena
hello. Tonk showing up, and we have Orlando's here as they've split up the fight. Dan Bridges now struggling. B-bomb connected, but not going to be able to get the knock on to Dan. He escapes. Pokeball getting the stun. They're looking for Bebo. Doing the best. They pull him back in. No Tonk, no go-kart away. And there goes Bebo. Team Miso now down one of their crucial members.
Yeah, kind of pretty... There's been a bunch of split fights over on this right side of the map. We keep seeing, you know, kind of 2 versus 2s, like team fights will break out, and then we have all these isolated like 1v1s, 2v2s. And TS like keeps coming back. We keep seeing him down to like 2 members, and they keep getting the res through. Oh, looking to get Aka Links with the crown. Not quite gonna get it. Tom Kick though with the grapple still. Oh.
Almost getting it. Hover Wings, QU with a chilling finale. This could be the time they decide they want to continue this chase.
Oh,
the slam in with the chains to help out. BlackRock absorbs it. Keeps Links alive as they have Samuel Hayek doing a great job of splitting the fight. Sinoid gifting over. Hello. We got Bebo back on the field and waiting to see if he's going to go for the play. It is our bullet trains here on the other side. Tom will ride that one, but it's not the safety. You've got knocked off, Tom, and nowhere to go. They're hunting you down the slam, but it's your own life that falls. While Coin Flippers now pushing up into the position and ready to see if they can take on Orlando's. No shield, that doesn't matter. A pistol breaker, Tonk. The whole team rides it out of the forge so they can take Niles and try to get back into the forge to look for Felix. But the bullet tree barely avoided, even though Orlando does fall. They're fighting so well in the forge. Coin Flippers, I don't know how you did it, but you took down Team Miso and only Akalink survived.
And I think they just didn't see that, bro. But he had like 1 HP right here. If they saw that squad wipe, that's XP sold, probably 15 off the back of it. Instead, Akalinks gets away on a sliver. Actually, I have no idea how he lived there. And like, yeah, that was a monster fight for TCF though. Really nice coin flip going their way. Heads this time.
We see another coin flip attempted by Mist this time around. Dan Bridges, they were able to somehow retreat from the previous battle and then survive. They've gotten everyone back online, even if their armor is a little broken. But, oh man, we got Echo with, this is where it's difficult. The Hover Wings has been the tech that Echo and Prismaticism really pioneered way back in the day. And Echo today has done a great job with that, but without Hover Wings, how effective is this Bishop play?
I will say the glider gas is going to do quite a bit for him. Not quite the like elevation of the wings, but still one of the craziest powers when it comes to mobility and catching people or running away. So he's going to, you know, maybe alter the game plan just slightly. Instead of playing in the skybox above terrain, just playing to speed away this time. But he's the thing I like about Echo is the way he plays these crowns. He's not running. He's constantly like holding the flank because he knows he can get away on RJ most of the time. He's like holding the flank of these fights and just waiting for an opportunity to find a pick, you know? He's not really afraid. Like, he's not running up here into no man's land. He's kind of hanging out, looking, like waiting.
True.
And it's really cool to see, you know, people playing Crown like that. It's just a huge amount of confidence in your hunter, in your skill set, to know that if a team of 4 sees you, you are going to be able to get away and be just fine. See, look at him, just lurking, constantly lurking.
He kind of hears some fighting one way. He's like, okay, can I actually find like a cheeky pick here? Can I steal away a kill? I know. Well, we do have Fortress Soul here for Suspicious Bushes. So they get themselves all of the territory that they can control. I still am looking. 15 seconds remain from Echo. Now teams are realizing it. He goes right over their heads. And the 2-way teleporter absolutely juking them. He's in the forge. It's just the 1-4 type over here. Joshua, the bunny. Well, Team Mist has revived again. This team, I don't know how many lives they have every single game, but they gotta rename themselves to 9 lives.
Yeah, there are true cats. We had cats yesterday. These guys are the true cats. Actually, infinite lives here.
Now another crown being worn. Suspicious Bushes, they're the ones with it. We see Joshua was spotted out. I think it was the train that actually got him, wasn't paying full attention to it. Another
sad one. That was a sad one.
Because we didn't even get to watch it, but in the mana coils, we have 3 teams kind of posturing about make it 4. Coin Flippers on the other side. Blackfrog has been taken down, but TMO have been moving northward. Even if they haven't had all their team members together, they're kind of looking towards where the other crown was for Suspicious Bushes. And Bofa have been holding the northern edge this whole time. A nice flame shield from Salma Hayek, but nobody was following it up. They get the one knock. The crown was the one they took out, and Bebo trying to deliver the bomb. Might have to punt that
Echo's
back
here.
towards Bofa. That's why they got rid of them. But now that Mist are ready to battle, they're taking out an Ova. Now looking to see if they can get Team Mist. No Tong Tong there. The baseball bat does not whack them away.
Dude,
and
Mist,
there
bro.
goes Team Miso.
Enemies have captured a meteor
Mist
soul.
is just impressing me so much, dude. I love this constant kind of like threatening flanks, like, you know, playing third parties, like being very kind of shifty and yeah, taking fights, dying, but someone always getting out and rezzing them. Like, it's just been such a cool team to watch throughout the day. And
Yeah, they've been a very fun team.
now double glider jet on the Bishop, bro. So no wings, but still terrifying. And XP soul and level cap, bro. So level 3 of all
The
3
storm's eye
abilities
is
on
drifting.
Kuba, on
Move
Echo,
carefully.
on Chrono. Gonna actually be terrifying now in the team fights. Ooh.
Nice Pokeball though onto all 4 members. Would set up Dan, but they were a little bit behind the play, even if Echo is already on this other side. Now the rest of Mist are starting to push in. They're trying to heal up Echo a little bit more before the fight, but they've got a lot of damage. A nice swap, saving Dan Bridges. Dan Bridges living up the team's namesake to keep the team alive. But we see you over on the other side with 5 teams still remaining. There's going to be this brawl. Coin flippers and Bofa. Damage onto the broken shield Oath as he spin dashes away, and now they're looking for the Eye of the Storm. But look at the suspicious bushes. They go into the wall, but they've taken down Cookies. Wall coin flippers lose to Bofa. But suspicious bushes, the third party, they're the true benefactors. Coin flippers have been eliminated, while Dan Bridges now look to join in themselves. Bofa back down to the base camp, while Mist starting to push in from the north. Something's gonna happen as we have the bullet train pass right by the punt back. Damage onto OC, but Echo with a broken shield, it's gonna be difficult for him to re-engage, especially as he tries to blast off away.
Yeah, MST kind of feeling themselves here. They know they're 15. They know they have power advantage. They're looking for these engages, and you know, Echo. Hey, there's his wings, bro. He swapped him out. He's online.
There it is.
The wing abyss specialist.
With Abyss, yeah, I was about to say that. Abyss specialist too is a big one, keeping them extra safe that they can play around, especially with the broken armor that I was just talking about for Echo. That could actually be a vulnerability, but no longer now that you have such safety as Bishop.
Yep. And coming down to our last 4 squads here, stuff slowing down a little bit. Everyone looking for their final positioning. Looks like Death
Storm's on
Barak
the move.
doing some wings of his
Stay
own,
inside,
wanting that
inside.
crown. Just 2 members left over here for Bofa. And they might have to play it a little patiently. They have to wait for Dan Bridges to look for the engage, and they are going to maybe be able to get the crown here, just sneak it through.
Yeah, they got it.
Dan sees
Easily
it,
get
Spokane
around.
wants to turn.
Noticing
Oh my
that
God.
Rashek has gotten it. That could be the Eye of the Storm, using it over the wall. But now that Mist is kind of played up, they're looking to see if they can get the knock onto the Jewel, missing the blast off, but they've already got the damage onto Dan. As Dan, they find the resurrection somehow. They got that bit of damage. I don't even know where that happened. But they were able to get revived and now have to fight up against the suspicious bushes while Mist are up in the north. Still getting pushed back, as you can see how the fight has been split. Another crown being worn, this time by Death Barak, hoping that the team can get resurrected once more and not quite eliminated. But another train showing up and going right past. Dan had been able to regroup, but Death Barak struggles, couldn't do it with the double hover wing, with the double air jet to get away. And now only down to 3.
Yeah, everyone kind of just getting like pushed into the arms of Mist there, and they get another squad wipe. I think it was like Dan must have had like a barely last bit of damage on Mershak with the crown when he like went down into the abyss, and there was like, that was just like mayhem though. Like so much happening. I love when teams get Fortress Soul and actually play with it. And these guys are actually using it pretty well, looking to lock in their position in this final shift we're going to have. We're going to have Dan having to move their way south. They are down to 3 members, trying to just hold that crown, wait it out. Looks like Kaizara looking to maybe get some intel up here. Same with Echo. And what's going on with the crown?
A minute and some change
Warning.
left until
Storm
they're
closing.
going to have it.
Enemies
Slotted
Storm
out
grenades
by
on.
Mist, realizing how overexposed they are. It is going to be the knock though, and Ari bringing back up Dan will now turn the tides as suspicious bushes playing up against Mist. You've been the team that's been resurrected so many times that eventually your lives were gonna run out while Dan on the precipice of defeat, but they're battling back. They've taken down OC. The health is coming back on their side. They were so close to death, but they still survive. While Darkin wants a reset, they need OC to be back in the battle, but they're stopped the win now. They no way, Jose, as they've taken Darkin. They traded Trenzy. Ion almost got him. But turn it back with low health, trying to break the shield of Oath, but into the storm. Suspicious bushes will take the win.
Dude, again for Dan. So close, bro. So close. What a wild fight there. It's always like when there's 4 squads left, bro, it's just like, it's kind of like everyone kind of postures up, looks at each other for a bit, finds their position, and then once the first fight breaks out, it's just carnage till someone wins. And really well played there by Suspicious Bushes, playing their Fortress Soul very well, holding their spot, knowing other teams are going to have to push into them. They hear the fight happening to the north, find the great third party, and yeah, just very well played. And then that final fight at the end there, so close, down to like a 3v3, then a 2v2, and they finally like pull out the final kill there, pushing him into the storm. But epic game 4 there.
Yeah, I mean, we've had some, I'd say some wild games today. I think we're on our 6th game now, so our final one.
That was game 5, sorry.
Yeah, I think we're on to game 5. Oh, no, game 6. So I believe it's only 6 games. Let me just double check. Yep, it is 6. So we got one more.
Okay, cool.
One more game.
Cool. This is like, wow, like we're having some surprisingly competitive games for it being like brand new teams, you know, literally just drafted right before this. Like it almost feels like we're watching kind of like normal scrims from the level of play we're seeing, you know? Like these teams scaling over the short 6 games together. In these last couple, you know, some of them starting to look really strong. I'm honestly, Magical, I'm rooting for a Dan Bridges win here because they've been so close to pulling it out many times.
I've been feeling really bad for them with just how close they keep getting and falling just short.
We got a couple DCs coming, people coming back in, I think. Probably
a couple crashes, so gives us some time if you need to use the bathroom. I'm gonna use the bathroom.
All right, sounds good. I'm chilling. Whoever wins last game wins everything. Deal. Nothing matters so far. Fate Strikes is back. We got the homies back. Using hover wings on Bishop equals negative 15 points for use. That's funny. Yeah, it has been a bit of a rough go for Losers Queue, but it's still like they're having like spicy fights, but they're kind of just getting caught out early and not being able to make it very deep the last couple, but even the early fights though are not, necessarily looking bad for them.
All right, I am back.
Welcome back.
Alrighty, they're ready to go. I am ready to go.
Beroof says earlier, he goes, last game, whoever wins last game wins everything, right?
Yeah.
And now he says,
Yeah,
remember
that's-
guys, we have nothing to lose, don't fight us.
Everyone dropping Kobas.
We fight at nighttime. Yes, please.
No, tell them fight daytime.
Fight
more of a
daytime
coin
with
flip.
Bullet Train in Copas.
Yeah. More of a coin flip.
Dude, that would be, imagine 10 squads in Cobas. Like, okay, put everyone at level 15, put everyone in Cobas, 10 squads, 40 players, daytime. Put a barrier around it so you can't leave, and then last man standing wins.
So I would even I'd just say put them level 1.
Level 1? Okay, level
even-
3, so they can at least use their abilities.
Yeah. There we go. So it's like you're just trying to outlast. You're not really trying to get kills.
Yeah, I guess at 15 you can even like kill the guards. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fair.
yeah. It's outlasting the guards as opposed to actually like getting kills. You're hoping you survive longer than your opponents. Oath is banned.
Oath is banned. All right.
Select your hunter.
Every time we pan over, we see it on an abyssal breaker. So not going to be the case this game. Like every time I come to a fight, you just see the ground getting torn up by this big guy.
Called to battle.
Yeah. I love Oath and its
You are the
concept,
drop
but man,
leader.
It's strong.
very strong.
Yeah.
The thing I like about Oath though is he's strong, but you still need to play with your team. It's not like
Yeah, you can't like
He's
solo
strong.
carry. Yeah, right.
Right.
Exactly.
you have
I
to have a
agree.
good team around you in order to win. And I think that's what makes Oath so good.
Yeah, and it's like I really like hunters like Oath, like Kingpin, where they can be played kind of different ways a bit depending on how you build them. Like we saw yesterday,
Right.
Emperor playing like full assassin Oath, like one-shotting people in arena.
Yep.
And there's also a big variation of ways you can build him, even just tank-wise, like as far as what you're looking at and prioritizing. And both him and Kingpin are just like in these kind of games, they are just so fun to watch. Like what they kind of add to a team comp and what they add to the fights in these like end game circles is like, I don't know, they're just two of my favorite hunters. Not even necessarily to play, but to like watch and to see, duking it out at these like higher level games because of kind of like what you're saying, like the depth of the kit and like all the things they can kind of bring to the team to set them up for success or defend them or, whatever the situation kind of calls for. I think that's probably why Oath is even a little better than Kingpin is not only can he do the, crazy abyssal breaker engage slam stuff, he can also be switched to being the protector supporter. He can shield the Kingpin grab, right? He can kind of cancel so many things with that.
So looking at our drops right now, we do have a hot drop at Underrot. Dan and Team Miso, but it looks like camp for Dan. So Team Miso need to hop aboard the train and get away from this one. This party ain't theirs. They will do just that. Having no desire to stay around, but looking at how this drop is,
Yeah, interesting.
I saw how we have Muffin Mayhem. They dropped Skyros, but they're just immediately going for Coldfang. And at first, it looked like coin flippers were going to contest them, but they decided to go upwards towards the grind instead to fight against Type Sheet.
Yeah, so they are going to get, Muffins is going to get the free Coldfang, which is actually so
Yeah.
huge when you consider how important gold is now. There's actually so much value in Coldfang. If you can loot the whole thing, buy up at that fire, and make your way in, it's like such a strong start uncontested. So it looks like Muffins is going to basically get that for free, like you were saying. And dude, I think Dan wants this one. Already level 5, bro. 130 in. Just tearing. I'm expecting to see a monster game from these guys looking to finally lock in that dub.
And having a Fate Rewinder on
Oh,
their
yeah.
Void
already.
as well. That's going to be kind of crazy to see how these plays can go. Not only can you get a good kidnap play, but how you might find someone else out of position or even set up for your team. Not quite yet. Instead, just kind of pathing up through the heart. They know there are teams nearby, but they're really just hard pressing for this farm, trying to get up to level 7.
Yep, so MST Mist gets their buy. They might actually look here because actually even levels should quite a good start themselves. And I don't know, so Dan hasn't got the buy and Mist has. It's actually big Mist advantage here. Item-wise, Dan is sitting on a lot of coin. They really need to find a fire here, shop and buy up to spend this coin because all their farm, you know, they have the levels, but the farm is useless. If Treadsy dies here, his gold is gone. So there we go.
There it goes.
Big loss there. On the kind of advantage Dan is having, they really need to peel, get that buy. They are going to be able to do so. So just Treadsy behind, not the end of the world, but not quite the momentum they were looking to gain. Mist kind of taking that away from them. Draco 7 already with the gold. Can never count these guys out.
The thing is, it's not even a base camp that really got Mist that lead. It is just the regular shop that was right there to the north.
Just looking to buy. And it's just such a crazy power advantage when you consider blue items versus gray items, you know?
Yes. Exactly. So I think that's why it was a good call. Just get out of there from Dan. Not even to bother. But we look at 2 teams that are ready to fight. SB, they won last game. And Bofa taking it to them. Chasing down Kaizaro. And Kaizaro over the water. Landing the pull. But unfortunately not enough time to slay him.
Yep, so he is going to go down. The rest
An enemy oracle is scanning.
The rest of SB, we got OC and Inno left. They're going to be fine. OC is going to get out. He's going to find a res here in Imotech. They're going to be A-okay. Dan, though, does get Treadsy back. Coming over to, I think that was a spike there we just saw. They do get a member of TMO.
By the way.
Oh, and they get the Fate Rewinder.
This is a Final Destination Stormship. And we know where Stormship's going to be. It's going to be at Imotech. Yeah. Look at that. Way up there.
Yeah, very interesting spot. I was going to see, I was like, who's fighting? The other 2 members missed very split here. There are actually 2 golds looking to get threatened by TLC. Hopefully their homies can make it over to them so they can find this fight. Okay, so Dracos gets out with the recall. Echo, though.
He's fine. He's got the teams behind him. It's also Bishop. It's hard to get there.
So many teams here, actually. Look at that.
Miso do actually run right into Echo, but that gold armor paying dividends, trying to keep him alive. But now the talk from Orlando's delivers them to a completely different team with a snipe down onto Orlando's team. Miso, Echo Lynx can't get away. Dan, they gotta get lucky there. They're given so much when it was plays on other teams that just end up beating them.
Hey, I think they deserve it at this point. Looking for a little advantage here. Oh, but not going their way there.
As the Toe Lickers looking strong, battling back. It looked initially like it could have been bad, but Dan Bridges, that singularity on an oath, not really the target you want to use that onto. Toe Lickers we haven't got to see much of, but here they are gaining a lot for the team. They take away the Fate Rewinder for themselves now.
Yep, so for Dan to finally get their dub, it's all up to Ari now. Taps the UAV, is going to get some intel on enemy positioning, needs to find that perfect res to get the team back. Might be able to just kind of sneak this one in the middle of everyone. We do have a couple final members from TCF making their way in the right.
He'll just go to Cobus. It's daytime.
Oh, there we go. Yep, good call.
Yeah, it was. I think he's would have gone for the one in the middle if everyone had it not been daytime, but since it's day, might as well go for the safer one.
Couple
SB and TS.
Our Night Stalker here.
Yeah. That's gonna be the cannonball thrown on both sides. A nice pull, almost into the laser beams of the Meteor Soul, but not quite being able to find that one. Regardless, SB are the team in control of the Meteor Beast. Which, oh wait, no, they're not. They two-way teleported that.
Really well played by Bofa there. I was also confused. I was like, wait, what?
Gotta love the two-way teleporter. You can make crazy plays like that, like stealing that away, and crucial here. Now Night Stalker Soul onto them. This is going to be great for them.
Yep.
Even though Emotech is going to be our final destination for our storm shifts. A lot of open terrain. It does at least give them some inner angles to find some crazy plays, but not when you go into the middle of SP like this. You got to be careful. OC so low. Up into the eye of the storm. Tried to go for the reset. Spurshek was not able to land that, nor the spear, but Darkin was taken out while the blast, there's the back. Marshek finally getting the stacks of static. Surging once more as Kaizaro punted over the abyss, and it's a rock right behind you. No spike for you, and you've got no way
such a rough
home.
spot, bro.
Having to hope for a miracle, and they are watching you struggle as you dash, grind, and die.
Yeah, so luckily OC did get out, kind of read the situation, does have the wings on the RJ. Oh, but it's going to go right into TS. Oh, just kidding.
But right over them, right over them. Oh my goodness, poor OC. How many teams do they have to go past to try to survive?
That's just
SB,
unlucky.
I feel
Look
like
how much map space there is, bro.
Yeah.
That is unlucky. Didn't see though. Fate Strikes, one of the last two members left as his team fight breaks out nearby, as GA and Boombox, and just kind of biding his time in this push. Losers Q has been having a bit of a rough go, but at least they are not out 10th this game, so that is a step up compared to the last couple. Getting a bit unlucky on the way the early fights have been going. Fate Strikes does get out, and it looks like Purple... Okay, so they do get the res. The whole team is back.
Storm
Hopefully
closing.
they can regroup and kind of find a little bit of success here.
But the storm is pushing all our teams towards Emotech. The teams are already controlled. TS and Bofa have been fighting for a long time. We see Muffin Mayhem actually getting eliminated very early in our final game, and a nice pull right into the nuke to make sure they can take out one, and they're forcing away type who barely will survive.
Bofa's feeling it, bro. They are riding the momentum off of that dub. Oh, Tom in such a bad spot here.
Yeah, bad spot. No way to get out of that one. He was hoping for maybe the res inside of the corrupted zone, but Joshua, QU are still alive, having the bunny with the crown and Night Stalker. Oh, no, not Night Stalker, with the mana battery and Stealth Cloak.
Basically Night
It's
Stalker.
going to be really nice.
It's the budget Night Stalker.
I mean, it still works. It's still essentially a Night Stalker when you think about it.
True. Oath on TLC, Baroof way over here, kind of split out, getting found by Losers Q, so they are going to get at least a little bit of kill points there. We see these other teams converging on the sound here.
They heard Losers Q were fighting, but they run into each other first, so gives a little bit of distance for Losers Q. Well, Dan had been split up, so now Dan they have the insider information that 3 teams were there.
TS, I was about to say, I know TS is down to their last couple. They do get taken out there right as some train mayhem breaking out between TLC and TMO. Ackling's taken down.
To be on Acklings, and now Toe Lickers still playing aggressively. They're looking for Orlando's, but he's able to skate away, but right over to Miss, and there goes Team Miso. Unable to get back to land while Miss find the stragglers. They punt Lancelot into the wall. They see Shroom is by himself, even with the ring to try to escape. They're spinning all the way to look to chase down the Toe Lickers. We're now down to only Shiv.
Mist is so good at finding the right angles, dude. They've had such good opportunities. Barely short on that hook by Dracos. Echo not going to want to let this Shiv get away. Probably going to chase Shroom right into another squad eventually here on the angle to go right into a couple of these teams. There's really nowhere to go for them here.
I mean, it is still hard to chase a Shiv. And I think that's why eventually Mist say, okay, we have chased way too far. We have no information on where these other teams are. Why don't we just fall back, regroup, reset? We can send out Echo like this with a double hover wings, go for scouting mission, not spot out where the Shiv is, but do spot out where Losers Q are.
That's actually such a great way to use it, just for the intel, just shipping yourself up in total safety in the skybox to know where everyone's at. Does it again over here, is going to find out TCF. Shroom's still doing a good job kind of, you know, staying out of the middle of that sandwich. Finds his way over on the right. Actually might have a really good angle to make his way up this way.
you see with the final boss of its range
Yo.
for the teams to fight. Loser's Q, losing purple, and about to lose more because Fate Strikes has to land something, a perfect
Nice swap.
anything, but it's only going to be the swap to save the team for now. Hover Wings to get vision. Echo knows where Fate Strikes is, even with the unstable anomaly. It's not really going to help out, especially with Chonkers right behind you. The rest of the team is starting to show up almost again.
Fate.
Might be able to save the Kingpin barely, but Hover Wings once more. Swap over the wall. Fate Strike's trying to get away, but he's over the abyss, and the rockets are being sent out at him. And he puts the singularity,
nice. And
dodged
shift
away by
Fate. Let's
Echo, but
go.
Fate Strikes gets over the wall once again.
Huge from Fate Strikes to keep Loser's Q in this. It was looking so rough for them. A couple beautiful shift reses, almost using his Kingpin as a decoy to they kill the Kingpin multiple times as he keeps getting back up. Shroom, no!
Oh, no! They did it! Lancelot found the pick! Was able to resurrect the team, and Coin Flippers flipped the wrong coin as they are now eliminated. Lancelot, what a play from Jin.
And Shroom, you know, kind of the one carrying that whole effort, the last player left for TLC that whole time until he's able to get everyone back there, and then Lancelot and crew able to finish it off for him. So really well played by TLC. Now XP Soul and Shroom on 15. They need one more squad wipe to take full advantage of that to get themselves all to 15 and really, you know, ride the power. Really nice 2-way teleport there, looking for the flank on Bofa. They don't have a ton of intel because of this Night Stalker soul. It's about to get messy here, Magical.
They kind of know something's up. They know someone's nearby, and Adamar goes for the Abyssal Breaker. Face Strikes, though, he wants to pick up a crown and then look for the Nox, but it's going to be Shroom against the attention first. Taken down. Shroom is gone, and now TLC, as they wear a crown on one side, it's down to the others. Lancelot being the big one. The chains were on the Fate Strike, but a singularity over the Abyss, but no crown to be worn.
Wow.
Instead, Fate Strikes goes for the long play, the long con, hoping he can survive on the long part of the wall.
Doing a crazy job living on the Void. Marshak, though, taking it to TLC instantly on Lancelot, up in the air with the ult. Coming down by his rocket jumper.
Crown anymore. Got it. Gonna pick that one up right into the middle, and again, no crown. And another team gone. Missed. Now joining as Dan in the middle of 4. They've got to be careful because they are still playing with fire. They're low and they've been split up. Dan, barely alive, finally falls to the rock with the snipe onto the Ari, putting him down now to one member. Treadsy, actually 2, because it's Treadsy and Sprokane. There goes Sprokane, and now it's down to just 1.
Dude, crazy fight there. I legitimately cannot believe Fate Strikes is still alive on the. He has like no mobility powers. Void somehow has been the last one left. Just a kind of masterclass of how you can use that shift to, you know, constantly find angles on top of these walls and like get away. Like it's a. Oh, what?
Treadsy, yeah.
Oh.
Treadsy was on the outskirts, was hoping to survive. Missed our team, who have won 2 off the backs of Echo, but this time feels like a much more consorted effort from the entirety of the team. Kuba barely dodging away from Bofa. Well, they know someone's nearby, and there it is. Hey, oh wait, you're all the way over here. That's where you've been hiding this whole time. Blast off you trying to get out, and the damage for the spike. Echo takes another team out.
That was actually so much damage. Look at these items, bro. That's 1 RMB, 1 auto, almost all of Fate Strike's health. I thought Fate Strikes played that really well. Ults forces him into the storm. Does not matter, though. Echo on an absolute tear today. MVP on the day in my book. So many insane plays
100%.
by this Bishop. Just actually crazy to watch.
He's been playing so damn well. Very much giving me the Prismaticism vibes here.
Yeah.
I know Prismaticism has retired for a while now, but it never will die in my heart. And Echo starting to lift that mantle up as Bishop players and do a great job as such.
Yep. And Bofa now in a pretty strong position. They are riding, you know, playing like the spacing of this Night Stalker soul. They have the XP soul. Everyone has their level 3 abilities fully maxed here. But when we look at items like Mist's, like kind of evolution, like their evolution of the armor on Echo, they had a gold on Kuba. big items like 5 pinks coming through. Their bonfire is going to get
Storm
nuked there
tightening.
by cookies. They're going to kind of lose that ability to buy, ability to reset, ability to recall. They're going to look to two-way teleport Bofa's fire back to themselves, though. So
I think
actually,
that's a good call.
a pretty good macro play here. Very nice from Mist.
And that's why Bofa are kind of sending debt, trying to see if they can at least get a little bit of spike damage, any poke onto these members, but not able to find it. And with a nice supply drop, it will give them something. But keep in mind that Mist have been waiting it out this whole time, and now that the platform's here, there's a lot more terrain to play with, but they're still scouting it out. They're a little tepid on how they want to play this against Bofa. They're hoping that they can get the pick. Now that Echo's in the middle, but Echo has been taken down too early. Hoping for the spikes. A nice emergency platform from Bofa as they still control that little island far away.
Yeah, and Death Barak kind of trying to look to do the same thing, but the rest of Bova's here to follow up. Huge engage on a chrono, they get it.
They get it, and Kuban's gonna be spiked too, all down to Draco's, as he only has the grind rails to play with. An emergency fortress, 1v4, no way, slam down the hammer as Mist fall. Bofa will take our final game.
Bofa showing up here. That's the second win on the day. Super strong, like really scaling throughout the day. Really strong team fights in these last couple of games. Playing that Night Stalker XP Soul very well, very patiently. They know Echo's feeling himself. Echo's looking for it. He goes a little too far, you know, keeps coming over the top with the double hover wings, looking to scout. They wait for him to make a mistake. He drops in, maybe not knowing how many are there because they're cloaked, right? Does get a double punch, but instantly stunned and taken out. Then into the 3v4. It's an easy finish for Bofa at that point. So, but we saw Mist take 2 as well. They were looking for their third there. So like basically our two top squads on the day in that final circle. And what a great day of games, dude. Epic 6 games of like, I love the draft format, man. Really cool.
Me too. Definitely something I'm hoping we're seeing more of. I am going to wrap it up early though, because as you can tell, my voice is very much taking a beating. All right. Well, thank you guys for joining. I'm gonna go raid Jack-a-Lackin really quick. So,
GG's.
care,
Thanks for having me,
and
Magical. Awesome
course,
cast as always, brother.
always good casting with you. I'll talk to you probably a little bit more after I do the raid.
Sounds good, brother. GG.